Hi, everybody. This is Bob Gale, co-creator of Back to the Future, and you're listening to Brad Gilmore.
Oh, Brad, what have you done now?
Doc! Okay, relax, Doc. It's me. It's Marty.
Oh, it can't be. Just sent you back to the future.
Yeah. Oh, I know you did send me back to the future, but I'm back. I'm back from the future.
Great Scott.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Out of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style?
Whoa, this is heavy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Back to the Future, the podcast, the only podcast looking back in time with the greatest film trilogy of all time, which is, of course, Back to the Future. My name is Brad Gilmore, your friend in time, and the author of Why We Love Back to the Future, 40 Years of Fandom, Flux, Capacitors, and Thomas Adventures, available wherever books are sold right now. Amazon's the easiest one to do it on. Hope you all have been doing well. It's been a minute since I tapped in and checked in with you, but guys, I've been working. You know, I have a kid's book out. I got another one on the way. I got a comic book I'm working on. I'm trying to tinker with the screenplay. I've done hundreds of interviews, but I feel like I've neglected my pinheads somewhat, which is why I'm going to be dropping, I think, an episode today and then an episode at the top of next week, which will be an interview that I'm very excited about, and you'll find out about here shortly. But I was thinking about what could I do on the podcast, and then a friend of mine sent me a link, right? And this was not any link. It was a link that contained information about the future. And what that information was, it was an audio file that someone had done of the original draft for Back to the Future Part 2. Now, Texas came out there. Y'all have listened to this podcast for a certain amount of time, know that I started to do a reading of the script colloquially known as Paradox, Back to the Future Part 2 and Part 3, that was the original draft Bob Gale turned in after the success of the 1985 feature. And I lost a lot of the audio file. I was doing it in parts. I lost a lot of the audio file. And then recently, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I started to record it again. And then I lost the project file. So I had kind of given up on doing it. And then a friend of mine sent me this link. And I'm assuming it was some sort of AI program that read out the script. And I started listening to it. It's long. And I asked him, I'm like, hey, you think it'd be cool if I shared this? Because I know that he paid to get it done, I guess, or something like that. I don't know the details. I don't really focus on those. But he said, yeah, go ahead and play it. So this is the original Paradox script written by Bob Gale, copyright Universal. I think that this originally came out on bttf.net back in the day, which is now transformed to backtothefuture.com. Shout out to Stephen Clark. And I thought it'd be fun to play this. And I will say, I've listened through it. It's a fun read. There's some things that it doesn't get right, like they call Doc DOC sometimes. There's a couple strange accents in there, but it's okay. We're a worldly bunch, so there's something in there for everybody. But here, check this out. This is a special edition of Back to the Future, the podcast. This is the full reading of Paradox, the original version. Check it out.
Unknown, page shows number 2 first draft by Bob Gale. Title on black, Saturday, October 26th, 1985, 10:38 a.m. Exterior McFly home and street, day. We are recreating the closing moments of Back to the Future. The Mr. Fusion modified DeLorean backs out of a He McFly driveway and into the street. Doc Brown is of course at the wheel, dressed in bizarre future garb, engaging switches and time circuits. Marty and Ennifer sit together in the passenger seat. Marty.
Doc, you'd better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88.
Doc.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Doc flips a switch, the wheels rotate down 90 degrees, and the DMC lifts off and blasts into the future, across the street. Biff, 48, stands up from behind his truck in astonishment. He's seen the whole thing. Biff.
A time machine. Doc Brown invented a time machine.
He considers the possibilities. We might notice a racing form on top of his dashboard. Exterior, the sky, day. As the DeLorean materializes from 1985 and into the path of an oncoming flying truck, Doc jerks the wheel, narrowly avoiding a collision. The angry truck driver sticks his head out the window. Truck driver?
Stay in your own lane, asshole.
Doc maneuvers the DMC to the correct side of the floating lane markers. Marty and Jennifer are amazed. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Doc turns to them with a big smile. Doc.
Welcome to the future.
Exterior and alley of the future, day. The DeLorean lands in a blind alley. Doc reaches over and pins the passenger gull-wing door. Doc.
I want both of you to get out and wait for me right here.
Marty.
But Doc, what's going on? Where are we? When are we?
Marty looks at the time display. The present time display reads October 7th, 2015, 3:30 p.m. Doc pulls a Nike gym bag from behind the seat and hands it to Marty.
All your questions will be answered, Marty, but right now, I want you to put these clothes on and for you and Jennifer to stay right here. I'll be back in a few minutes with clothes for her. Just don't go anywhere or do anything.
Jennifer gets out of the car.
Is this about our kids, Doc? You said something had to be done about them. What are they, terrorists or murderers or something? Does that mean me and Jennifer get married? Are we both still alive?
Please, Marty. No one should know too much about their own destiny. Just trust me. I'll be back soon.
Marty sighs and nods. He takes the gym bag, gets out of the car, and closes the door. He and Jennifer step back. Doc lifts off and flies away. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Jennifer. Amazed, confused.
Marty, what's going on?
Realizing she knows nothing.
Oh, right. Well, that was a time machine, which Doc invented out of a DeLorean, and the instruments said we're now in the year 2015.
2015? That's 30 years from now.
Yeah, 30 years in the future. Come on, let's check this out.
Marty, Doc said to wait here.
Nothing's gonna happen. We're just gonna walk down the street, take a look around, and come right back.
Well...
A beat.
Shouldn't you change clothes first?
Marty and Jennifer, moments later, as they come around the corner. Marty is now dressed in smart future garb, to be determined. He and Jennifer react with stunned astonishment at what they see. Exterior Hill Valley Courthouse Square, 2015 day. Yes, it's Courthouse Square. Familiar enough to recognize, but vastly changed. For the better. The streets are now gigantic sidewalks, for pedestrians and bicycles only. No cars, which are restricted to elevated streets. There are no parking and no landing signs posted. In the center, the village green has been restored and improved, with a duck pond and a fountain. The renovated courthouse is now the entrance to. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Clock Tower has the same clock, cleaned up, restored, but still stopped at 10:04. There's a 2-level gas station, Nippico, Nippon Oil Company. A robotics shop displays robots and accessories, sales, service, rentals. A plastic surgery franchise, Bottoms Up. Advertising facelifts and a sale on breast implants. Billboards for Pepsi Plus, it's vitamin enriched. TWA Vietnam Vacations, and GE Superconductors, a holographic IMAX theater playing Godzilla 2015. An antique store with a window filled with rare antiques objects from the 70s and 80s, including a Betamax, a Super 8 movie camera, a Macintosh computer, and Perrier bottles, and the perennial finance company offering easy credit. Some things never change. Marty and Jennifer stroll through the square, wide-eyed, taking it all in. The pedestrians in general seem in better physical condition. A few are fat or wear glasses, although there are plenty of wild sunglasses and video glasses. Several people look at Jennifer's clothes with great curiosity, wondering, is that real cotton? There are kids with painted faces, a contemporary fad. Now, Marty and Jennifer walk past. XT Info Store. It's called The Library, your complete information connection. And the window is full of posters advertising the work of various future authors, as well as an IDEO screen showing commercials for other titles. Marty does a double take and pulls Jennifer back. Marty.
Jen, look near the bottom.
Their POV of Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Of sports statistics, 1965 to 2014 includes baseball, football, horse racing, basketball. Back to shot. Jennifer.
Yeah, so
Don't you get it? We bring that book back to 1985 and make a fortune. We'll have the results of every football game, horse race, boxing match. We place a few bets and we're on easy street for the rest of our lives. Come on.
She reluctantly follows him into the store. Info Story. Unlike a 1985 bookstore, there are only covers on display, and computer terminals in the back. Marty and Jennifer look around bewildered for only a moment before a clerk spots them. Clerk.
May I help you?
The Sports Almanac advertised in the window. How much is it?
On what?
The Sports Almanac.
The Sports Almanac what?
Marty doesn't know what the clerk is getting at.
The Sports Almanac, sir.
The clerk looks at Marty suspiciously. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
Marty, let's just get out of here.
You floating on wild juice, son?
Very slowly, deliberately.
Look, I just want to know how much money the Sports Almanac costs.
Just as deliberately.
And I just want to know what format you want. ROM-cart, ROM-D, Standard C, Mini C, or Micro C. Rental, lease, or download. What's your memcap and baud rate? Interface with me, kid. You'll never get by in this world if you can't interface.
Marty is speechless for a moment.
Right, good advice. Jen, why don't we go out in the world and, interface?
Waves to the clerk.
Thanks a lot.
As they head for the exit, the clerk mutters to himself.
Assholes.
To Jennifer.
Now there's a word I understand.
Exterior alley, day. The DeLorean returns to the alley, landing from above. Doc Brown jumps out of the car. Doc.
Okay, I brought some homing devices to make sure you don't get lost tea.
Realizes no one is there.
Marty, Jennifer?
He looks around for them, but all he can find is Marty's. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
Damn, I can't even leave him alone for 5 minutes, kids. No sense of responsibility.
Takes a deep breath.
Calm down, Emmett. Get hold of yourself. They probably just went to find a bathroom.
He looks at his watch, then starts pacing. Exterior Courthouse Square, day. Mom, Marty, and Jennifer are still going away from the alley. Marty.
If we can just find a book version of that Sports Almanac, you think they still have books in the future?
Jennifer.
I don't really care. I just want to go back and wait for Doc.
You don't care about being a millionaire?
Marty, I don't know what we're doing, and I don't feel comfortable walking around the future in these clothes.
Stop short.
In there, they've got to have a yellow pages.
They are in front of a McDonald's. Interior McDonald's. New at McDonald's, no more waiting in line. Our C-waiters bring food to your table. Each table has a computer touchpad menu for ordering, and people pay for their purchases by pressing their thumbprint onto a special pressure pad. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTF.com. Marty and Jennifer are at the payphone. The phone itself has a computer screen display with touchpads. The screen is yellow. Computer voice.
Thank for your request. Here are all retail bookstores within 1 kilometer of this location.
A list appears on the screen.
Do you want a printed copy, yes or no?
Marty.
Yes.
A printout on a small wallet-sized card comes out below.
Looks like the phone company has finally gotten their act together.
Voice.
Hey, McFly.
Marty and Jennifer turn in the direction of the voice. A tough-looking guy, 18, has just entered with 3 punks, Spike, Whitey, and Hack, behind him. The face is familiar and the manner is familiar. He's the future ascendant of Biff, named Griff. He walks over to a nerdy kid, 17, who is a mess. Unkempt hair, sloppy clothes, a total dork. Nerdy kid.
Hi, Griff. Guys, how's it going?
Marty's mouth falls open in total shock. The nerdy kid looks just like him. There can be no doubt this is Marty's son. Griff.
You got my homework finished, Norman?
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Mouths this in disbelief.
Norman?
Norman.
Oh, yes, Griff, I did it this morning. It's in here somewhere.
Norman finds a mini computer disk in a folder containing their disks and plastic cards. He hands it to Griff. To himself, still in disbelief.
Norman?
Griff takes the disk and shakes his head. He knocks on Norman's head.
Hello? Anybody home? Think, McFly, think. You entered this data without my passkey code. Do you know what would happen if I turned in my data with your passkey code? I'd get kicked out of school. You wouldn't want that to happen, would you? No, Griff, I wouldn't want that to happen. You know, your sister still owes me money. You wouldn't happen to have it on you, would you?
Norman shakes his head. Spike!
You'll never see that money, Griff. Her old man probably borrowed it from her, and you know what that means.
They all laugh at this comment, even Norman.
What are you still sitting there for, McFly? You've got my homework to redo, remember? Okay, I'll get right on it.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. As Norman starts for the door, one of the guys yanks down his pants, then Griff trips him. Norman falls flat on his face and spills the contents of his folder, discs, plastic cards, and printouts. Everyone erupts in laughter, Norman included, as he picks up his things. Marty winces at the humiliation. Griff snaps his fingers and the boys yank Norman up. Again he knocks on Norman's head.
Hello, anybody home? You forgot my passkey code, McFly?
He holds up a plastic card with barcode symbols. Norman laughs at his own stupidity. He takes it, and the Aang escorts him out.
I don't want to see you again until you get it finished, understand? You won't, Griff, I promise.
They all go out the door, leaving Marty and Jennifer in total shock.
That can't be my son. He can't be.
Jennifer.
Marty, he looks just like you.
I would never name my kid Norman.
I always wanted to name my son Norman after my grandpa.
Jennifer, don't say this to me.
Marty picks up a blue plastic card that was left on the floor from Norman's folder and examines it. Insert, blue plastic card, copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. One side has a magnetic stripe, the other side has a holographic image of Norman, Hill Valley Remedial School, and a class schedule with current grades: elementary math, D+ remedial computer remedial reading, C, D remedial English, D. Marty shakes his head and pockets the card.
Perfect. He's an idiot too. Oh God, it would have been better if he was a juvenile delinquent, a punker with purple hair, a teenage terrorist, anything but a wimp.
Exterior McDonald's, day. As they exit, Marty stops, remembering something. Marty.
What did they say about me? I was borrowing money from my own daughter, like I was broke?
Jennifer.
Marty, let's just ask Doc about it.
Right, you go wait for Doc, and I'll be there in a few minutes.
He checks the telephone directory printout card.
What are you gonna do?
Realizes.
How can you be thinking about that book at a time like this?
Look, I don't want to grow up and have to borrow money from my own kids, not when I know how to get rich.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. But shouldn't we find out a little more first, about ourselves, about everything?
We will find out more, but let's keep our options open. If we don't need the book, we can throw it away. You just go back to the alley, and I'll be there right after I hit the bookstore.
He gives her a quick kiss on the cheek, then takes off down the street. She watches him a moment, sighs, then goes back toward the alley, which is in the opposite direction. Exterior alley, day. Doc Brown picks up Marty's 1985 clothes and gets into the DeLorean. Doc.
They're lost, or in some kind of trouble. They could be in jail for all I know. Well, I brought 'em here, so I've got to find 'em.
Doc closes his gullwing door and revs up the machine. Jennifer is approaching the alley. Now she sees the DeLorean flying away. She runs, waving her arms, yelling. Jennifer.
Doc, wait, come back, stop.
Too late. Doc can't hear her, and the DMC flies off, leaving her alone and frightened. She sighs, considers her situation, then runs back in the direction Marty went.
Marty! Marty!
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. but Marty is nowhere to be seen. Interior bookstore. Close on the book version of the Sports Almanac. It's a large format paperback, and the price, if we notice it, is $39.95. And there's a UPC symbol next to it, wider, bookstore counter. Marty hands it to the cashier, a woman in her mid-30s who is surprised at its weight. She examines it. Cashier.
5,000 pages. No wonder it weighs a ton. This ultra-thin paper's amazing.
She runs it through the barcode scanner. Nearby is a display promoting A Match Made in Space, the classic Iniseries now available in all HD video formats.
With tax, it comes to $43.95. Thumbprint, please.
Marty.
Could I pay cash for this?
Cash? Are you serious? You know there's a 2% handling charge for cash.
Well, that's okay.
Cash price is $44.83, which is $44.85 to the nearest nickel. But I'd better make sure we have cash in the store to make change.
Say.
Are you one of those privacy activists? This isn't exactly penthouse you're buying here.
I guess I'm just old-fashioned.
Well, you're in luck. We actually...
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Have some cash today. Marty, on the verge of pulling out his own cash, looks up and sees the cashier's money. The future currency has rainbow borders and holographic treasury seals.
I think I'll try charging it after all.
The cashier nods and offers him the thumb imprint panel. Marty puts his thumb to it. An electronic beep sounds, and cashier checks the computer screen.
McFly Martin Hopkins, unusual middle name.
Marty smiles. He's gotten away with it.
Yeah, I was named after the Mark Hopkins Hotel in San Francisco. That's where I kinda got started.
Still living over in Hilldale?
Where? Yeah, right.
He tries to see what other information is on the screen. Suddenly, the cashier eyes him very suspiciously.
Mr. McFly, it says here you were born June 20th, 1968. That means you're 47 years old.
Well, I just had a facelift.
The cashier stares at him in total disbelief. There is a moment of tension. She shakes her head.
That is the absolute best wrinkle job I have ever seen.
Lord. Plastic Ziploc bag. Who was your doctor? Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Takes package, smiles.
Dr. Brown.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. NT McDonald's, at the phone. Jennifer is back at the payphone, operating the directory computer. Make entry, please. Jennifer types out McFly Martin, then presses Enter. Immediately the screen flashes No Such Listing. Jennifer is shocked. The screen now flashes alternate listings McFly and a following list with 8-digit phone numbers. McFly, David R., McFly, George F. Mrs., McFly, Jennifer, 1131 Park Len, Hilldale, 299, 64,484. End of listing for McFly. Jennifer.
I'm listed, but Marty isn't.
With some trepidation, Jennifer selects the place call option to herself. The display reads, Insert $2 or press thumb pad. Jennifer presses her thumb to the thumb pad. After a few electronic beeps, the call is connected. Jennifer hears the phone ringing on the other end. She's nervous in anticipation. After the second ring, her own voice answers.
Hello, this is Jennifer. Yes. We can't take your call now, so please leave a message.
Jennifer sighs relief, laughs to herself, and hangs up. She selects the hard copy option and gets a printed card with her future address and phone number.
Hilldale. I wonder where that is.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Exterior flying DeLorean. The DMC flies over a futuristic industrial park and descends to Doc's garage, unchanged in the midst of the new development. The doors open automatically and the DeLorean drives in. Interior Doc's lab. The DeLorean parks next to a futuristic van, Dr. E. Brown Enterprises 24 Hours Scientific Service. The lab is Doc's usual eclectic mess, but there are a lot of appliances, tools, and equipment of the future. Doc Brown leaps out with Marty's clothes, frantic. Doc.
Einstein, I need your help.
Doc runs to his faithful dog, who sits calmly in front of a future TV watching a used car commercial, featuring used autos from earlier in the 21st century.
We have to find Marty and Jennifer. I know you can do it. You're part bloodhound. I'm sure you don't remember your grandpa, but he was a bloodhound, a good one. Someday I'll take you back in time to meet him. Smell these clothes.
Doc puts Marty's clothes in front of Einstein. As the dog sniffs them, Doc rummages around and finds a Ronco aroma amplifier, which consists of a funnel connected to an electronic box and a hose that runs out the other side and attaches to the nose.
I knew this would come in handy someday.
Exterior near the alley. Marty shoves the red bookstore bag in his jacket, then earns the corner expecting to see Doc, Jen, and the DMC. Marty.
Damn, where are they?
Marty runs out of the alley, confused. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Town Square. Marty looks around for them, wandering aimlessly. Near the pond, Griff and the boys notice him. Spike.
Hey, Griff, isn't that...
Griff.
Yeah, goes out and gets new clothes and a new haircut when he's supposed to be doing my homework.
Whitey.
Funny, he looks shorter to me somehow.
Yells.
Hey, McFly, get over here now or I'll rip you in two.
Marty looks over and sees the gang, then runs like hell in the other direction. To the guys.
Let's get him.
Marty dashes around a corner, past the side of a building and a fire door which says, exit only. The door opens and an elderly couple come out, smiling. Marty sees this opening and darts inside. The door loses behind him. Now Griff and the boys come running in pursuit. They go right past the exit door and keep running. Interior theater backstage area, a second day. Marty is in the backstage area of a theater. As he catches his breath, he becomes aware of rock music. In fact, it's The Power of Love. And it sounds like Huey Lewis and the News. Marty goes around some curtains and sees. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Huey Lewis and the News on stage. They're in their 60s, gray and old, but a sight to behold as they rock and roll. Marty can't believe it. He looks out at the audience, all over 40. Some in their 70s clapping, cheering, and rocking out. The song ends and they applaud wildly. Huey.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This next one, I'm sure you all remember, was a really big hit for us back in 1989.
The band starts playing a terrific rocker that Marty has ever heard before. Marty reacts with mixed emotions. A great song played by his idols, who are now old, playing for an audience of his contemporaries. Exterior town square, day. Jennifer walks down the street, bewildered, until she notices an UP escalator with a sign, Transrapid, and the destinations East Valley, San Lomas, Hilldale. Jennifer.
Hilldale.
She takes a deep breath and goes up. Interior theater. Marty watches from the sidelines as Huey and the boys finish their number. The crowd goes wild, or as wild as hay can for their age. Huey.
Thank you. We're going to give you all a chance to stretch your legs for 10 minutes, but don't go far.
They head off stage, right toward Marty, who lights up. Marty.
Great, I'm going to meet Huey Lewis.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. As they approach, they literally vanish into thin air. Marty can't understand it. He steps out on stage and looks around. The big shimmering banner behind the stage says it all. Nostalgia International presents Huey Lewis and the News back in the 20th century, the 3D holographic concert. Marty shakes his head and chuckles. Usher.
Hey, you, get off the stage!
And Usher is approaching. Marty hurries off the stage into the auditorium. He exits through the first door he ohms to, marked, Elevators to Upper Plaza Exits. Exterior of Plaza, day. Elevator doors open and Marty finds himself in Wilson Memorial Plaza, a business/shopping/entertainment complex. There are offices, shops, and access to parking OEs, streets, and public transportation. Marty wanders around, taking it all in, while pedestrians go about their business, ignoring him. Marty pauses to stare at a memorial bust of Mayor Goldie Wilson. A familiar voice incessantly calls, "Usher."
Dave Norman McFly.
Marty turns and is shocked to see his older, now much older brother Dave coming up to him. Now 55, Dave has developed a paunch, and his thinning hair is gray. Dave.
Norman, I thought that was you. What are you staring at me for? It's me, your Uncle Dave.
Marty smiles weakly, trying not to gawk.
So, Norman, what are you doing over here? Aren't you going to the hospital?
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Marty.
Huh?
Voice he.
Forgot, Dave.
Marty sees his sister Linda, now aged 51, who has just joined them.
Linda.
Linda.
What happened to Aunt Linda? New haircut, eh? What's that supposed to be, the 80s retro look? You look a lot like your dad with your hair like that, don't you think, Dave?
A little. He's got his mother's eyes, though.
Marty smirks at the comment.
So, are you coming with us, Norman?
Don't ask him, tell him. You're coming with us, Norman.
Quit bossing everybody around.
To Marty.
When we were kids, he used to boss your dad and me around all the time, always picking on us.
Picks at Linda's cheek.
Pick.
Stop that!
That's funny, Aunt Linda, 'cause, Dad says you picked on him a lot, too.
I take it your dad's not going.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
I don't know.
If he does show up, he'll be late as usual, and so will we if we don't get going, Dave.
All right. Come on, Norman. You'll disappoint your grandmother if you don't go.
My grandmother?
Realizes who he's talking about.
Right. Wouldn't want to disappoint Grandma.
Marty follows Dave and Linda to the parking structure, not realizing he's been spotted by Griff and the gang. Spike.
There's Norman, Griff, but he's with some moldy oldies.
Griff.
Let's follow him. I want to teach that runt a lesson he'll never forget.
Exterior Transrapid, LL Station, day. A sleek maglev train, magnetic levitation via superconductors, speeds past, revealing Jennifer, who has just disembarked at the Hilldale station. Jennifer heads for the exit. Exterior Housing Project, day. Jennifer approaches the Hilldale housing development, a faceless sprawl of identical cluster townhouses and low ISE apartments. Jennifer takes a deep breath, then walks through the main entrance, past a sign that says, "Subsidized housing for low and middle-income families." Exterior Road, Indon, on the way to the hospital. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. We follow Dave's car as it proceeds on wheels along the nicely landscaped road. Dave's car passes a historical monument, a large statue of a pioneer and a pack mule. This is William Bill Hill, founder of Hill Valley. Interior Dave's moving car. Marty, in the back seat, looks at this familiar sight and smiles while Linda and Dave converse up front. Marty.
Good old Bill. Nice to see he's still here.
Dave.
Mom's pretty upset that Uncle Joey didn't make parole again. She was really hoping he'd be there.
Linda.
Well, there's one in every family.
Throws a glance at Norman.
Sometimes more than one.
Radio, DJ.
Playing all the hits of the 80s and 90s, this is Sarah with a classic by...
Exterior Dave's car. Dave's car passes the monument and the grove of trees beyond it. And then we see Hill Valley Community Hospital. It's quite a complex, and we can tell from the various buildings and wings which comprise it that it has been expanded over the past 40 years or so. There is a lot of activity around one particular wing. Interior Dave's moving car. Marty is quite impressed. Marty.
Whoa, this place has sure grown.
Indicates the activity. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. What's going on over there? Dave and Linda look at him like he's a complete idiot. Linda.
Earth to Norman. What do you think we're doing here, nephew?
We're gonna see Mo Grandma.
Dave.
Right, and why are we seeing her?
Because she's here.
Dave and Linda exchange a look and shake their heads. Griff's convertible, Day. Griff and the gang are following Dave's car from a good distance behind. Whitey.
They're going to the hospital.
Griff.
Then so are we.
Exterior alley, Day. Doc's flying van lands in the alley. The aroma amplifier is strapped to Einstein's head. Doc aims the funnel out the window. Doc.
Okay, Einie, find the trail. Find Marty.
Einstein barks excitedly, and Doc starts piloting the van along the trail. Exterior street and housing project. Jennifer walks up to a townhouse cluster and finds 1311. She looks it over and tries to see in a side window, but it's too high and bushes are in the way. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. She goes around to the front steps, takes a deep breath, and walks up to the front door. Exterior townhouse, at the front door. There is no door knocker or doorbell button. In fact, there's no doorknob. There is, however, a thumbplate on the door frame, above which is the name McFly. Jennifer touches the thumbplate and a computer voice responds. Computer voice.
Welcome home, Mrs. McFly.
The door automatically slides opens. Jennifer hesitates, then sticks her head in and looks around. Interior McFly townhouse. Jennifer looks around and decides it's safe to enter. The door automatically closes behind her. She's nervous and cared. She looks around the living room den. It's economically furnished with futon modular furniture. In a corner is a workstation desk with a computer terminal, printer, phone, and modem. On one wall is a large framed art print. Stairways go up and down. Very cautiously, Jennifer explores the surroundings. Jennifer goes to a bookcase and browses. On the shelf are a row of videos of a format yet to be invented. There is a pre-recorded copy of A Match Made in Space. The other titles are handwritten and include Computer Voice.
Wedding, Jennifer and Marty. Family Vacations, 1995 to 2005. George and Lorraine, 50th Anniversary. Norman and Doris, Vol 1, 2, 3.
Jennifer is intrigued. She takes the one labeled Norman and Doris and examines it. Jennifer.
Doris? We name our daughter Doris?
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Suddenly, a girl's voice calls down from upstairs. Doris.
Mom, is that you?
Jennifer reacts with fear. She quickly puts the videotape back on the shelf and runs for the front door. Now footsteps from upstairs.
Mom?
Jennifer pushes the thumbplate by the front door. It slides open. Footsteps coming down the stairs, and a shadow. Jennifer runs out. The door slides shut behind her. Exterior townhouse. Jennifer runs down the steps and ducks behind a car parked on the street. She looks back at the townhouse. The door slides open. Jennifer's jaw drops, and her eyes go wide as she sees Doris McFly, 17, in a bathrobe, who looks like, well, if Marty was a girl, 60 pounds overweight and had acne, that's Doris, a complete mess, just like her brother. Doris looks up and down the street for whoever just left the house. Seeing no one, she shrugs and goes back inside. Jennifer is devastated. Exterior hospital, dedication ceremony. Dave, Linda, and Marty walk quickly to join the crowd gathered in front of the newest building for a dedication ceremony. There are TV cameras covering the event. Giant video screens show the speaker's podium so everyone can see. There are also refreshment tables being replenished by caterers pushing hover carts, levitating dollies, loaded with shelves of food. Speaker.
Gives me great pleasure to...
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Introduce our guest of honor, Lorraine McFly. There is a warm round of applause from the crowd as Lorraine McFly, 77 years old, steps up to the podium. Despite her white hair, glasses, and wrinkles, she can still get around on her own. Linda.
I told you we were late.
Dave.
She's just going on now. We haven't missed anything.
Marty stares in amazement at his aged mother. Lorraine.
Thank you, Jason. Ladies and gentlemen, as many of you know, when my husband died 2 years ago...
Marty reacts with horror at this sad news.
His final request was that his entire fortune be given to this hospital for the construction of a new emergency facility.
As the speech continues, Marty begins looking around the rout with nervous anxiety.
Norman, you're so fidgety. What are you doing?
Marty.
Huh? Oh, I was just looking for my dad.
Now, some of you may remember, this was the hospital Hill Valley didn't need. This was the hospital Hill Valley couldn't afford. In fact, the city council wanted to sell off this land and use the money for a nuclear power plant. Luckily, no one at the time had enough money to buy this land. So, under a cloud of controversy, Hill Valley Community Hospital was
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Built and opened in 1973. Marty keeps looking around. Suddenly he sees a familiar face. Griff, some distance away, is looking right at him. He has a sadistic expression on his face as he gestures, "Come here." The gang is with him. Marty gulps and quickly pushes through the crowd to escape.
On a stormy night 1 month later, George McFly was critically injured in an automobile accident. Luckily, this hospital was only a mile away and there was time to save my husband's life. Without it, he would have died because County General 5 miles away was inaccessible. The storm had washed out the Groby Road Bridge, and this was the hospital we didn't need.
As Marty pushes through the crowd, he stumbles into an elderly man in a futuristic wheelchair. Elderly man.
Hey, watch where you're going.
The voice, tone, and words are unmistakable. Marty turns and finds himself face to face with Biff, now 78, nearly bald with only a few strands of white hair, bifocals, and a very wrinkled complexion. Marty stares in amazement. Biff.
What are you looking at, butthead?
After a moment's hesitation.
Nothing. Sorry.
Marty moves away quickly. We hold on Biff, who suddenly reacts with recognition.
Hey, I know that guy, but it can't be.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Today it gives me great pleasure to dedicate the George F. McFly Memorial Wing of Hill Valley Community Hospital. She cuts the ribbon to thunderous applause and then unveils a bust of George McFly. This image of George is all that's needed to jog Biff's memory.
McFly, Marty McFly.
Biff looks around and spots Marty, still moving away. E yells at him.
Marty, hey, Marty.
Marty reacts, wondering who yelled, just for a moment. But Biff has confirmed his suspicions. He nods knowingly, put his automatic wheelchair in gear, and starts following Marty. Marty moves to edge of the crowd and looks back. No sign of Griff and the guys. Marty sighs relief, only to turn and find Griff and the gang in front of him. Griff.
McFly, I thought I told you I didn't want to see you again until you had my homework done.
Hack.
You know what happens when you don't do what Griff tells you?
Spike.
We kill you. I'd really like to discuss this with you, but hey, look.
Griff falls for it and turns, and Marty immediately socks him in the jaw. Griff falls backward into the guys, and Marty bolts. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Riff gets up, totally surprised.
Get him!
They give chase. BF reacts to seeing Griff.
What in the hell does my grandson have to do with this?
Chase sequence. Marty runs into a caterer pushing a hover cart and knocks it over. The cart breaks apart, spilling food, but the bottom hover section remains intact. Marty leaps on it, creating a hoverboard. He kick pushes to gain speed. It remains only a few inches above the ground. Griff and the guys keep coming. Marty grabs onto the back of a passing pickup truck and is whisked away from his pursuers. The gang is amazed. Biff scratches his head as memories return.
There's something familiar about all this.
Marty looks back at the gang with a smirk and waves to them, not realizing that the truck he's hooked onto has just pulled into the UP traffic-only lane. The truck lifts upward, pulling Marty skyward. Marty is euphoric. Then suddenly the board drops out from under him, leaving him hanging by one hand from the back of the flying pickup, terrified. Griff and the guys are laughing. Yells.
Hey McFly, did you forget? Maglevs don't work more than 6.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Inches off the ground. The pickup truck goes still higher, 200, 300 feet. Marty's hand is slipping. He's losing his grip. He tries to find a handhold for his other hand, but there isn't any on the smooth finish. Marty looks down. It's certain death. His hand slips further. Marty spots a protruding tailpipe on the truck. He eaches for it with his free hand success. He lets go with his other hand and grabs the tailpipe with both hands. He's safe for about 1 second, and then the tailpipe breaks. Marty plummets. No way can he get out of this one. Below, Griff and the gang react triumphantly. Suddenly, from out of nowhere, Doc's flying van zooms in, banks, and catches Marty through the open side door. Interior Doc's flying van. Marty takes a moment, then realizes where he is. Marty.
Doc, thank God.
Doc.
No thank Einie.
On the ground, Biff sees the flying van with E. Brown Enterprises on it. Biff.
Doc Brown and Marty McFly. Very, very interesting.
Wheels toward the street.
Taxi!
Interior Doc's flying van. Marty greets Einstein happily. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Marty.
Einstein. Hey boy, good to see you. So, Doc, where's Jennifer?
Doc.
You mean you don't know either?
She went back to the alley to wait for you.
Back from where?
Oh, well, we sort of decided to look around for a minute.
Wait right here. Isn't that what I said? Did I not make myself understood? Is it me? Is it you? A physiological problem with your auditory nerves?
No, I heard you, Doc. I just thought you were being overly cautious. I mean, it's the future, so it wasn't like I was risking screwing up the time-space continuum.
Correcting him.
Space-time continuum.
Had ever.
So instead you go out and attract attention. Make a spectacle of yourself, nearly get killed. Time travel's a secret, Marty. What if you got picked up by the police? What if they figured out what was going on? Do you realize the consequences of the public learning about time travel?
Yeah, I guess if criminals got the DeLorean, things could get pretty...
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTEF.com. Harry.
Criminals, hell. I'm worried about the federal government.
Well, relax, Doc. The only people who saw me thought I was my son.
Interior flying taxi. Biff sits in the back of the cab. His wheelchair collapsed next to him. Biff.
Don't let him know we're tailing him.
Cab driver.
Relax. I've got him locked.
Exterior McFly townhouse. Dusk, night. Jennifer is climbing on the bushes to peek through the side window. She has to get into a somewhat precarious position in order to see inside. Jennifer's POV through the window of Doris coming from the kitchen with a tray of food. A huge chocolate sundae loaded with whipped cream, a pile of fudge brownies, and a tub of fried chicken. She's now wearing mismatched clothes, which make her look even worse. Intercut with Jennifer, watching her daughter with a pained expression. Jennifer.
Oh God, she doesn't even know how to dress.
Doris sits on the futon sofa, hits a button on a remote controller, and the large art print becomes a TV screen. She digs into her snack as she watches a commercial, then reacts to the front door opening as CompuVoice proclaims, Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. CompuVoice.
Good evening, Norman.
Norman enters. Norman.
Hey, Dor, is Dad home yet?
Doris.
No, and Mom's out getting groceries.
Damn, I gotta talk to him, Arita.
He won't have time, never does.
Exterior Doc's lab, night. Biff, in his motorized wheelchair, approaches Doc's garage and maneuvers over to a window where he can peek in and eavesdrop. Interior Doc's lab, night. Doc paces, trying to think. The van is parked next to the DeLorean. Doc.
Now, if you were Jennifer, what would you do?
Marty.
I'd do what I did in 1955, look you up in the phone book.
I'm not listed.
And then I'd look me up.
Great Scott. If Jennifer actually encounters herself, the results could be disastrous.
What do you mean, Doc?
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
Shock. The shock of coming face to face with oneself 30 years older may be more than any human being can handle. It could conceivably kill her. And if she dies, you certainly can't get married. If you don't get married, you won't have kids. If you don't have kids, I won't have a reason to bring you and Jennifer here in the first place. And if I don't bring you to the future, she won't get killed.
Then what's the problem?
It creates a paradox. A person can't be both alive and dead at the same time. It violates the laws of physics.
Doc, you can't get busted for wreaking the laws of physics.
No, but we could disturb the very fabric of time and set up a chain reaction which would destroy the entire universe.
A beat.
Granted, that's the worst-case scenario. The destruction might in fact be very localized, limited to airily our own galaxy.
Laughs uncomfortably.
Oh hey, you had me worried there for a second, Doc.
But it would be interesting to attempt such an experiment on a small scale. Perhaps then I could place my own portrait next to Albert, Ben, Tom, and Isaac. There might even be a Nobel Prize in it. But then I'd have to go to Sweden, and it's so...
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Cold there.
Doc, forget Sweden. We've got to find Jennifer.
Wrong, you're staying here. I'm going to find Jennifer.
But Doc, she's my girl. I've got to go with you.
And run the risk of you running into yourself? No, Marty, I can't allow it. It'll be much safer for you to stay here and wait for me.
Stops short, remembering.
On second thought, it'll much safer if you're with me so I can keep an eye on you.
Spots red bag in Marty's jacket.
What's that in your jacket?
Marty smiles weakly, pulls the sealed bag out of his jacket and shrugs.
Huh? Oh, this? Nothing. I mean, it's just a dumb book I picked up, something to read in case I got bored. I guess I won't need it now.
Marty tries to toss it aside, but Doc picks it up.
Rather heavy reading.
Unseals the bag, examines book.
50 years of sports statistics. Hardly recreational material, Marty.
Okay, well, I just thought it couldn't hurt to bring back a little info on the future. In case of a cash flow problem, I'd place a few bets.
Marty, I didn't invent time travel.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. For financial gain, this is a scientific endeavor for us to use, not to abuse. The intent here is to gain a clearer perception of ourselves, of humanity in general, where we've been, where we're going, the pitfalls and the possibilities, the perils and the promise, perhaps even an answer to that universal question. Why?
Oh, hey, I'm all for that, Doc, but what's wrong with making a few bucks on the side?
Because it's cheating. And it could create a time paradox, and frankly, I don't want to be remembered as the man who disrupted the fourth dimension and accidentally destroyed the universe. Speaking of which, we've got to find Jennifer before she finds herself.
Doc reseals the book in the bag and leaves it on a able. Then he, Marty, and Einstein get into the van. At the window, Biff has been watching all of this with great interest. Eerie great interest. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTSF.com. Exterior McFly townhouse. Night. Jennifer continues spying through the window from her precarious position. Compa voice.
Good evening, Marty. Your pre-requested beverage will be processed in 90 seconds.
Jennifer strains for a better view. Intercut with her POV and int townhouse. Old Marty, 47, enters through the front door. His hair is gray, but he seems very dapper in a future version of a blazer and tie. Jennifer is hopeful. Old Marty turns. On the back of his blazer is embroidered, Gomez Valet Parking. Jennifer is sick. Old Marty heads right for the phone, paying no attention to his kids. Norman.
Dad, could I talk to you about something?
Old Marty.
Not right now, Norman. I'm busy.
Old Marty picks up the phone and punches some numbers.
But Dad, it's important.
Marty.
I don't have time right now, Norman. Maybe tomorrow.
Doris gives Norman an "I told you so" look. Norman sighs and goes upstairs. Old Marty gets a loud electronic jamming tone from the hone.
Damn, what's with the jamming? I've got a major hunch on tonight's.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTF.com. Lottery, the pot's up to 48 million. Doris.
Mom had the exchange blocked. She doesn't want you throwing any more money away.
Throwing money away? The lottery's an investment, the key to our future. Doesn't your mother understand that?
Doris has heard this a million times. She sighs, shakes her head, and starts upstairs. Marty gets his martini. CompuVoice, voiceover.
Welcome home, Jennifer.
Jennifer watches anxiously. Interior docks flying van, night. Dock pilots. Marty is in the passenger seat, looking at Norman's blue plastic card. Einstein is in the rear. Marty.
So, Doc, bring me up to speed here. Like, what's with Norman?
Doc.
You've seen him, so you know he's got some serious problems. I thought you could help straighten him out.
But I still exist as his father, right? Even if I'm an old man.
47 is not old, Marty. 80, 90, 100, that's old. 47 is mature.
Okay, even if I'm mature, I'm still me, so what do you need me for? Unless it's because I'm having my own problems in the future, except...
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTF.com. That you said Jennifer and I both turn out fine.
I know I said that, but what I meant was that, well... Look, Marty, there are certain things you're better off not knowing just yet. Right now, our most vital concern is Jennifer.
Marty sighs. Exterior townhouse, night. Jennifer strains to see what's going on inside, intercut with her POV and NT townhouse. Old Jennifer comes up from downstairs with a bag of groceries, which blocks her face. She wears a coat over what appears to be a blue suit. As the scene proceeds, young Jennifer's POV of old Jen's face is constantly blocked by the plant on the windowsill, by old Marty, or by old Jennifer turning her back to the Indo. Old Marty tosses back the rest of his drink. Old Marty.
Jen, honey, I've got big news.
Old Jennifer.
Marty, I've had a long day and I don't want to hear about another can't-miss investment.
You don't even know what it is yet. Can't you at least be open-minded?
Every time I'm open-minded, we end up in debt up to our ears. The answer is no. End of conversation.
I can't believe you're doing this. Don't you care about our kids? Don't you want them to have a better life?
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
I'm doing this? You want to know why our kids are screwed up? Because of the example you've set. How can you expect them to apply themselves in school when you can't hold a job for more than 6 months?
Outside, young Jennifer tries to maneuver into a better position and pricks her finger on a thorn. Jennifer.
Ow!
She looks away from the window to check her finger and misses seeing that old Jennifer reacts in identical pain from the finger prick.
Hey, I've always told them that if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. I believe that, and that's what I live by.
And what have you put your mind to? Making a fortune without working? You've certainly accomplished the not working part. Face it, Marty, you're a slacker, and our kids are slackers too.
My ship will come in, and then it's going to be Megabucks McFly. Just be a little patient.
Damn it, I've been patient since high school. Remember when you canceled our trip to the lake because of those guys in the red Corvette?
What guys in the red Corvette?
Those sleazeballs, Winch and Lomax, they offered you that once-in-a-lifetime deal to make major cashola. Instead, you almost got thrown in jail.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Old Marty shrugs it off.
Then you gave up your music because you decided it wouldn't make you a millionaire. Never mind that it was good, steady work. You take jobs you hate because you think you can make connections, and then you screw up. You almost ruined your brother's investment firm with that synthetic paper scam. Then you got your dad involved in that phony tax shelter. We got a great return on that one. We were cut out of his will. And now that I've cleared our credit rating, you're trying to put us back into debt with your psychic lottery connection. Well, I've got news for you, Mr. Megabucks McFly. If you ever do strike it rich, it'll be too late because you won't have a family to share it with.
Marty.
What the hell's that supposed to mean?
It means divorce. I filed. It becomes final at midnight tomorrow.
Old Jennifer takes off her coat and turns around. Young Jennifer gasps as she sees what she's become. Old Jennifer, 47, wears a security guard uniform. The years have not been kind, and the booze hasn't helped either. Puffy, wrinkled, circles under the eyes. She reminds us of Lorraine at the beginning of part 1. Young Jennifer's eyes glaze over, and she passes out, awling into the bushes. Inside, old Jennifer suddenly stops short and gasps for air. Then she too passes out.
Jennifer.
Old Marty goes to his wife and tries to revive her. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Exterior street and McFly townhouse. Night. Doc's flying van swoops down and lands. Doc, Marty, and Einstein get out. Einstein sniffs around, then picks up the scent and runs toward the bushes. At the bushes, Einstein finds the unconscious young Jennifer and barks. Doc and Marty run over. Doc.
Good work, Einie.
Doc looks over Jennifer and checks her vital signs. Marty.
Is she alive?
She's in shock, but should we risk taking her to the hospital?
They hear old Marty inside, on the phone. Old Marty.
Yes, I need an ambulance. My wife just passed out and I can't revive her. McFly. Martin McFly, 1311 Park Lane in Hilldale. Hurry.
Scratch that idea.
Marty stands, wanting to look in the window, but Doc immediately yanks him down.
Don't look at yourself. Let's get Jennifer out of here fast.
They lift Jennifer and carry her toward the van. NT Doc's lab, night. Doc's van returns. All is just as it was when they left. Or is it? Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTF.com. The DeLorean looks like it's been moved and parked differently, and there's a small puddle under it, but Doc and Marty are only concerned with Jennifer and don't notice. They lift her out of the van and lay her on a cot.
Keep her warm, Marty. I've got some oxygen here. Hopefully that'll bring her to.
Marty covers Jennifer with a blanket while Doc locates a tank of oxygen. Close on Jennifer's face moments later as Doc's hand places an oxygen mask over her face. Marty watches anxiously. Doc checks Jennifer's pulse. After a few anxious moments, she stirs. She's still unconscious, but her breathing becomes more pronounced.
She'll be fine, at least physically. Hand me that towel. I want a blindfold her.
Blindfold her? What for?
Marty hands it to Doc, and he uses it to blindfold her.
She's received a severe shock seeing herself 30 years older, and the repercussions of that could be who knows what. Therefore, we must make her think she had a bad dream, which means we must get her back to 1985 so she comes to in familiar surroundings. I don't want to take any chances of her seeing this lab, or the DeLorean, or anything of the future. Now change back into your 1985 clothes and let's go home.
Doc hands Marty the gym bag with his clothes. Now Marty spots the sealed red bookstore bag laying. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Where Doc left it. Marty checks to see if Doc is looking. He's not. Marty hesitates. Should he or shouldn't he? He should. He grabs it and puts it in the gym bag. The DeLorean, moments later. Marty, now dressed in his 1985 clothes, sits in the DMC with the unconscious Jennifer on his lap. Einstein is behind them. Doc closes the gull-wing door on them, then runs around to the driver's side and gets in.
We'll go back to 1985 just a few minutes after we left.
Turns time circuits on.
Last time departed was what? September 20th, 1967, 6:15 a.m.?
Sure enough, that's what the time display shows.
Einie, did you hit the keypad again? I know it's close quarters, but you have to be careful when you come in and out of here.
October 26, 1985, Doc. We left at 10:40 a.m., so 10:45 should do it.
Doc enters the data. Exterior Doc's garage, night. The DeLorean pulls out of the garage, its wheels drop down into the flying mode, and it blasts off. Interior flying DMC, night. Doc makes his final adjustments. Doc.
Well, Marty, take your last look at the future.
Marty looks out the side window as the flying car accelerates. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Marty.
That's weird. Kinda looks like your lab's fading out.
But there's no time to notice. The speedometer rockets up to 88. The flux capacitor glows brightly and discharges a burst of intense white light. Instantaneously, the night sky becomes day.
Welcome home. The local time is now 10:45 a.m.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Exterior, the flying DeLorean, day. The flying DMC descends to a 1985 residential street. Its wheels fold down, it lands, and keeps driving. Interior moving DeLorean, day. Doc.
We'll take Jennifer directly home.
Marty.
But she left from my house.
True. But when she revives at her house, the disorientation will help convince her that it was a dream.
Okay, you're the scientist.
Exterior Jennifer's house. The mailbox has "The Parkers" on it, wider, revealing the DeLorean idling in the driveway. Doc and Marty are carrying the unconscious Jennifer Oward, a hammock in the yard. Doc.
Let's put her in the hammock.
They put her in the hammock. Doc removes the blindfold. Jennifer remains asleep. Marty.
We're just gonna leave her?
She'll be fine. I'll take you home. You can change clothes and come back for her in your truck.
You're the scientist.
Exterior Lion Gates of Lyon Estates, day. The DMC drives through the familiar Lion's Gates, copyright, Universal Studios, and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Exterior MCFly home, day. Marty gets out of the DeLorean. Doc.
If you need me, I'll be back at my lab. Let me know if you have any trouble convincing her it was all a dream.
Marty.
You got it, Doc.
As Doc drives off, Marty pulls out Norman's blue plastic ARD and shakes his head sadly.
I sure wish it had been a dream.
He walks up to the front door. It's locked. He takes out his door key and tries to open it, but the key won't fit. Marty fiddles with it, to no avail.
What the hell?
He shrugs, then goes around the side of the house. Marty goes to his bedroom window and tries it. It opens. He climbs in, then loses his balance and falls. Immediately he's greeted by a scream. Interior bedroom. Marty has fallen into a bed with a 12-year-old black IRL. She keeps screaming. Marty is shocked. Girl.
Mama, Dad, help!
Marty.
Hey, who are you? What are you doing in my room?
Marty suddenly realizes that this is not his room. Everything's different. It's a girl's room. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
Help! Rape!
She starts throwing things at a totally confused Marty. Now the door bursts open and her parents rush in. Dad has a shotgun! They're accompanied by Harold, age 7. Dad.
Freeze, sucker!
Raises his hands.
Okay, take it easy. I don't want any trouble.
To his wife.
Louise, call the police.
To Marty.
Move over against that wall. What are you doing with my daughter?
Nothing. It's all a mistake. Honest. I live here. I thought this was my house and I made a mistake somehow.
Harold.
Shoot him, Dad. He's lying.
Shut up, Harold.
To Marty.
You thought you lived here?
Yeah, I was up all night and I got confused and I don't know, went in the wrong window. I'm sorry.
What are you waiting for, Dad? Blow his head off.
You shut up.
To Marty.
What's your name?
McFly, Marty McFly.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
And you live around here? I never heard of no McFlys, and we've been living here 3 years.
Please, sir, this is all a big, big mistake. I'm really sorry, and if you just let me go, I swear I'll never bother you again.
Exterior front of the house. The front door opens and Dad shoves Marty out. Dad.
If I ever see your ass here again, I'll press charges.
Harold.
And he'll blow your head off, too.
Marty.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Dad slams the door. Marty, very confused, goes down the driveway and checks the address number on the curb. 2317.
It's my address, my house. I don't get it.
He looks around and notices Mr. Lester across the street, raking his leaves. Recognition lights Marty's ace and he heads over to him.
Mr. Lester, hi, how are you doing? It's me, Marty McFly.
Mr. Lester looks at Marty with a blank expression. Mr. Lester.
Who?
Marty McFly. You are Warren Lester, right? You're a piano tuner and you've got 2 little girls?
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
That's right. What, did I tune your piano?
No, we don't have a piano.
Marty McFly, did you say? Sorry, the name just doesn't ring a bell.
Right, okay, thanks.
Lester just shrugs as Marty wanders off, more bewildered than ever. Insert phone book. The listings include
McFarlane, McFeeters, McGee.
But no McFly, Marty is stunned. He's at a payphone in a bar.
Jesus H. Christ. Well, Doc, I sure hope you can explain this one.
Marty is about to make a phone call, but the payphone's been vandalized. There's no receiver.
Perfect.
Marty steps away from the phone and looks over at the bartender, 50, and his several low-rent patrons.
Excuse me, has anyone here ever heard of George McFly?
Bartender.
George McFly? Yeah, I heard of him.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
I'm trying to locate him. You know where he is?
Try 301 South Street.
301 South Street, thanks a lot.
Marty runs off. The bartender chuckles to himself. Exterior close on an address plate. 301 South Street. Wider. Marty reacts in shock. He's at Hanley Park Cemetery. Marty.
Oh God, no.
Exterior cemetery. Marty runs through the graveyard, reading tombstones, and then he finds it. Marty.
In loving memory, George Douglas McFly, April 1st, 1938, March 15th, 1973. March 15th, 1973?
Sudden realization.
The accident.
Marty dashes off. Cut to Ext Hill Valley, historical monument. Marty runs past the statue of William Bill Hill, past the grove of trees beyond it, and discovers not the hospital, but a gigantic Las Vegas-style high-rise hotel complex. It's garish, overdone, outrageous, and it's called Biff Tannen's Pleasure Paradise, Hotel, Resort, Casino, Girls. The huge flashing lit sign includes a portrait of Biff, and the place is doing tremendous business. Marty is dumbfounded. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTF.com. Marty walks trance-like toward the hotel, gawking at the ludicrousness of the whole thing and pausing to look up at Biff's mocking countenance on the sign. Interior Paradise Lobby. Marty wanders through the lobby, which is done in tawdry red and black decor. He can't believe what he's seeing. Micro-skirted cocktail waitresses carry drinks to and fro. Painted ladies abound, many escorted by customers. In the background, we see and hear the sounds of slot-machines and gambling. A singer in the cocktail lounge is singing Que Sera, Sera, and everywhere is the Biffco logo, indicating that this is all part of a huge enterprise. On the walls, Marty notices photos of Biff posing with various celebrities, including Ronald Reagan. The matchbooks even have Biff's picture on them. Marty pockets one. Then he comes to a display with a whole series of photographs titled Biff Tannen, America's Biggest Winner. The images depict Biff over a period of years, winning at racetracks, winning at Las Vegas boxing matches, and at other sporting events. There are newspaper headlines, Construction Worker Beats the Odds, Lucky Tannen Does It Again, Mr. Long Shot, Tannen Pushes Legalized Gambling, and magazine covers. As Marty studies the display, he spots one particular photo, which he looks at very closely. Insert photograph. It shows Biff receiving a large stack of money at a pay window. Sticking out of his shoulder bag, we can make it what is the top part of a book. 2015 Sports Almanac. Marty is stunned. He reaches under his shirt and pulls out the red bookstore bag he brought back from the future. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Artie unseals it and pulls out a pad of blank paper. Marty.
Oh my God.
Takes a deep breath.
Okay, Marty, get a grip on yourself. Doc'll know what to do. This can all be straightened out.
Marty checks the photo for the year on it. 1967. He turns, and then he receives the biggest shock of all. A display case which includes a front-page newspaper blow-up. Tannen remarries in lavish style. The Edding photo shows Biff with his bride, Lorraine. In fact, the whole display is dedicated to mementos of the Biff-Lorraine wedding of 1974. This is too much for Marty to handle. He passes out in a dead faint. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Interior darkened bedroom, night. Marty is lying in bed, lit by ambient light from a window. Female hands place a cold compress on his forehead. Marty groans and stirs. Marty.
Oh, where am I?
Lorraine.
You're home, safe and sound.
Home? Mom, is that you?
Of course it's me, Marty.
She sits down beside him and turns on the bedside lamp. Marty sits up in horror.
Oh my God.
Yes, it's Lorraine, 47, but a very different Lorraine. She's made up like Tammy Baker, has on an outrageous wig, and she's wearing an expensive glittering gown with lots of jewels. She looks like a floozy. She puts a cigarette in a garish holder and lights up.
Relax, Marty. Everything's going to be fine. Are you hungry? We can call room service.
Marty looks around at the garishly decorated bedroom. The large picture window shows that we're 15 stories up. His is the penthouse of the paradise.
I forgot. You haven't seen the penthouse since we redecorated.
From outside, we hear a male voice. Voice.
Lorraine, where are you?
To Marty as she exits.
It's your father. I'll be back in a minute.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
My father?
Marty peeks through the doorway into the living room, where Lorraine joins Biff, 48, who is dressed in a silk suit with showy jewelry and chains. Biff.
All right, Lorraine, what the hell's this all about?
It's Marty. They found him passed out in the lobby a few hours ago. He's resting in there.
He's supposed to be in Switzerland if that little runt's been kicked out of another boarding school.
Quiet, he'll hear you.
I don't care. Goddamn it, Lorraine. Do you know how much perfectly good dough I've blown on that no-good kid of yours? On all three of them?
What the hell do you care? We can afford it. The least we can do with all that money is make a better life for our children.
Lorraine pours herself a glass of scotch and drains it.
Marty's your kid, not mine, and all the money in the world wouldn't do jack shit for that lazy bum. I've bought him everything he's ever wanted, and he still behaves like a little asshole. He's a slacker, just like his old man was.
Don't you dare speak that way about George. You're not even half the man he was.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Biff glares at her, then slaps her. Artie is horrified.
Never talk to me like that. You hear me? Ever.
Damn it, Biff, that's it. I'm leaving.
Lorraine heads for the door.
No, you're not. Nobody walks out on Biff Tannen. I may decide to throw you out, but nobody walks out.
Well, I am.
You walk out, I'll cut you off, you and your kids.
Lorraine hesitates.
I can get Dave's probation revoked and he'll have to go to prison. Maybe he'll even end up sharing a cell with your brother Joey. And Linda, I'll close her accounts and she can settle her debts with the bank all by herself. And Marty, well.
Okay, Biff, you win. I'll stay.
That's right. You'll stay and you'll let me treat you like dirt because you like it. And because deep down inside, you know that's what you deserve.
Marty barges into the room, totally enraged.
God damn it, you can't treat my mother that way.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTF.com. Marty faces right up to Biff and slugs him in the face. Biff goes reeling backward and trips over a chair. Artie is about to go after him, but Lorraine stops him.
Marty, don't. He's your father.
He's not my father. He's just a rich asshole.
Just stay out of it, please. It's none of your business.
Mom, I'm not gonna let him hit you.
I had it coming, Marty. I was wrong. He was right.
Marty can't believe Lorraine is saying this.
Mom, what are you saying? You're actually defending him?
He's my husband, and he takes care of all of us, and he deserves our respect. Now I want you to apologize.
Biff gets up and glares at Marty.
Like hell I will.
Now the door bursts open, and Biff's three goons rush in. 3D, Skinhead, and Match from Biff's old gang. They're dressed quite well, but they're still the same. Skinhead.
We saw it on closed circuit, boss. You all right?
Match.
You need any help?
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. 3D. Laughs maniacally.
Yeah, you want us to teach the brat some manners?
Biff turns to Lorraine. Lorraine then looks at Marty.
Martin Hopkins McFly, you owe your stepfather an apology.
Marty takes a deep breath, then looks at Biff.
I'm sorry, stepfather, that I didn't hit you harder.
With that, Marty turns and walks out.
Why, that little bastard. Boys, I want you to...
No, Biff, please. Promise me you won't hurt him. Promise me you won't go after him, please.
Biff takes a moment, looking at his boys, looking at Lorraine, rubbing his jaw.
All right, Lorraine, I promise.
His boys and we see that Biff has his fingers crossed. Exterior Paradise Hotel, night. Marty leaves the hotel via the front entrance. The Elman watches him go, then picks up a radio. Bellman.
He just left.
Exterior a business street, night. Marty wanders along, angry, confused, disoriented. He brings us to Lone Pine Mall. It's the same except for one difference on the sign. The Biff Co. logo. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Marty stares at the sign and shakes his head. Now he hears the crackle of a police radio. Dispatcher.
And suspect is 17 years old, 5'4", 130 pounds, was last seen leaving the Paradise on foot heading south.
Marty quickly ducks behind the mall sign and watches the police car drive past, then hurries off in the opposite direction. Exterior Courthouse Square, night. Marty comes around a corner into Courthouse Square. It's a sleazy nightmare of adult bookstores, porno theaters, bars, 24-hour pawn shops, and bail bondsmen. A bus bench has an ad for Biff's Paradise Hotel. A kid, 14, is spray painting a mustache on Biff's face. A police car screeches up, 2 cops jump out and beat the kid with nightsticks. They drag him into the car and drive off. Marty is horrified. He notices that the courthouse clock tower has been replaced by a gigantic billboard for Biff Tannen's Paradise Hotel with a digital clock built into it, and the slogan, "It's time for fun." Suddenly, Marty is hit by bright headlights. He quints. It's an approaching paddy wagon. Fearful, Marty turns and runs. He hears a barking dog. It's chasing him. Marty keeps going, but he's tired, and the dog is gaining. He runs into an alley. It's a dead end. He looks for an escape and spots trash cans and a fire escape. Marty climbs onto a garbage can and grabs the fire ladder, but it gives under his weight, and Marty falls into the alley. He hears the dog coming. In a blur of motion, the animal leaps on him. Marty.
Einstein.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Yes, it's Doc Brown's dog, who licks Marty's face appily. Marty is glad to see him too. And the approaching paddy wagon, well, it's just Doc's step van, the one that says, Dr. E. Brown Enterprises, 24-hour scientific service. Doc rushes over to Marty. Doc.
Marty, thank God. I've been looking all over for you. We're in serious shit.
So I've noticed.
I can't understand it. I've been to the library poring over newspapers, magazines, trying to figure out what happened. The timeline has been upset, but I don't know what caused it.
I do.
Interior Doc's lab, night. There are bound library volumes of old newspapers on lab tables. One is open to the 1955 Clock Tower headline. Marty.
Somehow, Biff found out about the time machine. When we went out to find Jennifer, Biff got into the lab, found the sports almanac, went back in time with it, and somehow gave it to himself as a young man.
Doc.
But the book was still in my lab when we left the future. I saw it.
You saw this?
Shows him the bag.
Biff took the book out and replaced it with blank paper.
Copyright at Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
And then you took it back, even after I told you not to?
All right, Doc, I was wrong, and I'm sorry, but that's all in the past.
You mean in the future?
Whatever.
Then that's why the last time Departed said 1967. Biff went back to 1967 with the book.
Which means we have to go back to the future and stop Biff from stealing the DeLorean.
We can't, Marty. If we travel into the future from this point in time, it will be a different future. The future of this 1985, in which Biff is wealthy and in which I'm evicted and my property is taken away.
You're being evicted?
Doc shows him the eviction notice.
It came in today's mail. Biffco Realty is taking over the whole neighborhood for a toxic waste dump.
Marty shakes his head. In the background, the dog food-achine starts up and dishes out Einstein's supper.
Our only chance to repair the present is in the past, at the point where the timeline skewed into this tangent.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
You mean in 1967 when Biff first got the almanac?
Precisely. But we can't go back to 1967 until we find out exactly how young Biff got that almanac.
A beat.
Let's ask him.
Interior Doc's lab, minutes later. Doc is on the phone. Marty pages through old newspapers. Doc. Into phone.
Biff Tannen, please.
Pause.
Oh, he'll want to talk to me. Tell him I have information on the whereabouts of his stepson, Marty.
Pause.
I'm sorry, I'll only give the information to Mr. Tannen.
Pause.
Thank you, I'll hold.
To Marty.
I think they're gonna get him on the line.
Marty reacts to something he's found in a newspaper. Marty.
Doc, check it out. Biff received a $25,000 inheritance on September 20th, 1967. That must be why he picked that date to go back to.
Marty shows Doc the newspaper. Insert. Newspaper page. The article says, Tannen inherits $25,000, with Biff's picture, as he looked in 1967. Also on the page, Otis Peabody released from sanitarium, and Nareniu, copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. ACA to shot. Doc looks, then reacts to the phone. He motions Marty over to listen.
Hello, is this Biff Tannen?
Biff, voiceover.
Yeah, this is Biff Tannen. You know something about Marty?
Marty nods to Doc, indicating that it is indeed Biff.
That's right. But first I'd like to talk to you about a book you have. 50 Years of Sports Statistics, 1965 to 2014.
There is a long silence. Biff.
How do you know about that book?
Because it's my book. You stole it from me in 1967 and I want it back.
I did not steal it. I found it laying on my doorstep with my name on it when Who is this?
Doc immediately hangs up the phone and smiles.
Bingo.
Biff, in his casino, on the other end. Biff pumps the cradle of his phone.
Hello? Hello?
Hangs up, pushes intercom.
Security chief? Trace that call. Top priority. Report as soon as you got it.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Interior Doc's lab. Marty is all charged up. Marty.
All right, Doc, let's get going.
Doc.
Not so fast, Marty. You can't go to the 60s looking like that.
Marty looks at his clothes, then we. Marty, stepping in front of a full-length mirror. He wears striped bell-bottom pants, a tie-dyed t-shirt, and a vest adorned with American flags. His hair is parted in the middle. He wears a headband and John Lennon-style wire-rimmed glasses, and he has a knapsack.
Well, do I look fab?
Groovy. Marty, not fab. You look groovy. And for the finishing touch...
Doc pulls something from a bag of old clothes from Jack's Pawn Shop, open 24H'ers, fast cash for your needs, and puts it on Marty, a string of love beads.
No way, Doc. I'm not wearing love beads, no matter how groovy it is.
Marty takes them off.
Wrong, Marty. You say, sorry, man, like the beads trip isn't my thing.
Has a hard time with it.
Sorry, man, like the beads trip isn't my thing.
You've got to blend in, Marty. Be inconspicuous. When in Rome, do as the Romans.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. He rummages through the bags for something else.
But you're not wearing any of this junk?
I'm not a kid. Besides, I'll have to lay low. I can't risk running into my younger self into the potential fourth-dimensional catastrophe that could result.
So, Doc, exactly what were you up in 67 anyway?
Science professor, Hill Valley University.
Hands Marty something else.
Here, try this on.
Marty dons a simple peace sign, necklace the Middle East symbol on a leather thong.
Fine, I can deal with this.
No, it's far out. I can groove on this.
Rolls his eyes.
Doc, aren't we overdoing this? I mean, it's a simple deal. We go to 67, I grab the book off Biff's doorstep, I don't see anyone, I don't talk to anyone, we come back to 85.
Agreed. But so far none of my plans have worked according to plan. So this time I want a plan for the plan to fail. This in turn becomes a plan of its own, which, if it fails, could result in the original plan succeeding.
Science, I love it.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTF.com.
Now pop quiz, who's President of the United States in 1967?
Kennedy, no, Truman.
Lyndon B. Johnson. Didn't they teach you history in school?
Yeah, but I never thought I'd have to use any of it.
I suppose you don't know who the governor was either.
Marty shakes his head.
Ronald Reagan.
The president?
The actor. And who's the mayor of Hill Valley?
In his best 60s style.
Hey, politics isn't my trip, man, so, quit hassling me.
Smiles approvingly.
Groovy.
Interior Paradise Hotel, indoor jacuzzi. Biff is in a hot tub with 3 gorgeous bimbos. He's talking on the phone. Biff.
Look, Senator, I got you elected. Now you get the IRS off my back, or we both gonna be in deep shit.
The Biff Co. uniformed security chief enters with his report. It's Mr. Strickland, copyright, Universal Studios, and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Strickland.
Mr. Tannen, we got the trace on that call. The phone is listed to Dr. Emmett Brown, 1640 John F. Kennedy Drive.
Have our boys hook up with the police. Go there, get him, bring him to me, and Strickland, no screw-ups.
Interior Doc's lab. They're getting ready to leave. Marty puts a suitcase into the DeLorean trunk. Doc is throwing some empty dog-ood cans into Mr. Fusion. Doc.
That should be enough fuel. We've got supplies. Cash! We'd better bring some cash, just in case.
Doc opens a cabinet, revealing an ancient Wells Fargo safe. He dials the combination. The clocks go off. It's 9 o'clock. Marty.
9 o'clock? Oh my God, I forgot about Jennifer. We left her in the hammock and we had that big date. I was supposed to pick her up an hour ago. I'd better call her.
No need for that. I'll have you back in plenty of time to make your date.
Huh?
Realizes.
Oh, right, we can do that, but what about Jennifer, Doc? Shouldn't we bring her along? I don't want her to be stuck here in Biff City.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
If we succeed, the events that created Biff City will have never happened, while Jennifer's history will be undisturbed. As long as we return to 1985 at a point after 10:45 a.m. This morning, when all 3 of us returned, everything will be fine.
Well, you're the scientist.
That's why I'm not concerned about leaving Einstein behind either.
To Einstein.
Hear that, Einie? We're leaving, but not for long. In fact, we'll be back before we left, which means we won't be gone at all. Why am I trying to explain this to you? You're a dog.
Doc has opened the safe and pulls out some cash.
$300 for you, .500 for me.
Marty pulls out his wallet. As he puts the money in, he notices...
Whoa, I'd better not be carrying around my driver's license before I've been born, or these IDs.
Marty takes out several cards and IDs, including Norman's blue plastic card. He puts them in the DMC glove compartment.
Well, I think we're ready.
Interior DeLorean in Doc's garage, night. Moments later, Marty and Doc are seated, getting set. Doc.
Destination time, September 20th, 1967, 6:20 a.m.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTEF.com. Insert. Time display. As the data is entered, back to shot. Doc turns ignition and revs up the engine.
Time circuits on?
Marty turns the switch.
Check.
Mr. Fusion on?
Turns the switch.
Check.
Garage door open.
Marty hits a remote garage door opener on the visor. Reverse angle, including their POV, the opening doors reveal a group of police cars with flashers, armed cops, and Biffco guards.
Check.
Bullhorn cop.
Dr. Emmett Brown, this is the police. Come out with your hands up. You are wanted for questioning. You are surrounded. Do not try to escape.
Shit.
No, Marty, bullshit.
Wide angle on garage, as the DMC blasts up and out of the garage to the total astonishment of the cops. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Action sequence. The cops fire pistols and shotguns at the flying DMC. Buckshot pings off the flying car. Strickland.
Get a chopper out here.
The DMC speedometer rapidly whips up past 50. Gunfire shatters Marty's DMC window.
More altitude, Doc.
O.C. Brown pulls back on the appropriate joystick. DMC flies higher, over in light industrial area. T, the police keep firing. A shot explodes into the bottom of the DeLorean, ripping through a cable and causing sparks. Inside, A red light starts flashing.
Damn, there goes the aerial acceleration cable. Marty, is it serious? We can't get up to 88.
Mar.
It's serious, T.
The speedometer is steady at 75. A cop pulls a grenade launcher out of a truck.
Fasten your seatbelt, Marty. We've got one chance.
Fastens his belt.
What's that?
Gravity.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTF.com. Doc pushes the joystick all the way forward. The DMC pitches downward. Doc shifts the transmission into neutral. The cop raises the grenade launcher. The DMC speeds down at a 60-degree angle. It's heading over to warehouse and parking lot. The speedometer climbs past 80. Marty stares ahead with wide-eyed terror. Through the DMC windshield, the warehouse races upward. The cop adjusts his trajectory. The DMC speedometer hits 85. The DeLorean is on a crash course with the warehouse. The cop fires the grenade launcher. The speedometer reaches 88. The coils glow blue. The flux capacitor discharges. Through the DMC windshield, the warehouse comes hurtling forward. Then, 3 white flashes and the warehouse vanishes and becomes dirt and grass in morning light. Doc jerks the control stick back. The DMC straightens out and goes back up again into the dawn sky. It's all undeveloped land here in 1967. Marty and Doc both sigh relief.
Where do we land, Doc? Your place?
Good God, no. I'd risk running into myself. Let's see, 1967. If I remember correctly, there's an abandoned barn not far from here.
Barn?
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Exterior Peabody Farm, morning. An old pickup truck pulls up to the farmhouse, past a jury-rigged mailbox made out of an old bread box. The word bread has been X'd out, and Peabody written below. One lone pine tree stands nearby. Otis P.A. Peabody gets out of the passenger side and looks around. His wife gets out the driver's side. Pa Peabody.
Sure feels good to see the old place again. Been almost 12 years.
Ma Peabody.
Otis, you never got to go back to that insane asylum again? We can finally take that camping trip? You're really cured?
Yep, Maybelle, and us coming here proves it. That psychiatrical doctor said to go back to where it all happened, and I'd see for sure that there weren't no flying saucers.
Pa looks toward the barn, and his face goes white. The flying DeLorean is descending from the sky. P.A. screams. Ma turns and sees it. She screams. The DeLorean lands in front of the barn and drives in. The Peabodys get right back into the truck. Ma floors it. The truck spins around on the dirt road, takes out the mailbox, and speeds away. Interior barn, day. Marty watches as Doc inspects the damage. Marty.
Can you fix it, Doc? I mean, we're not going to be stuck here, are we?
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Doc.
Don't worry. Even if I can't repair the aerial acceleration system, we can still get up to 88 on the ground with the car engine. As long as Mr. Fusion's intact. That's what supplies the 1.21 gigawatts of electrical energy to the flux capacitor. We're fine.
Opens the trunk.
You just get over to Biff's house, grab that book, and get back here as soon as you can.
Right on, brother.
Doc takes some tools out of the trunk.
Oh, and Marty. Destroy the book this time. It's brought nothing but trouble, and Marty?
Doc looks around for him, but Marty's already gone. Insert, a piece of paper. On it is written, Biff, 2920 Pearl Street. Exterior residential street, day. Marty checks the written address against the real thing. Biff's house is a small tract house with attached garage and a picket fence around the yard. All is quiet. It's still early in the morning. Marty looks over the fence, then spots a large envelope on the lawn, on which is written, Biff Tannen, 2920 Pearl. Personal. From its size and the bulge in it, there can be no doubt. This is the book. Marty.
All right.
Marty looks around, sees no one, then hops the fence. E approaches the package. Suddenly, a huge growling German shepherd charges out from around the side of the house. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Marty beats a fast retreat. Fortunately, the dog's on a leash and can't get Marty. Unfortunately, the book is within the dog's territory. Marty considers the situation, then approaches gingerly.
Nice doggy, nice pooch.
Marty creeps a little closer, but the dog decides it's too close and snaps. Marty jumps back. The dog keeps barking. Marty tries to figure out what to do. He looks around, then spots a rake in the yard. Marty smiles. He has an idea. Interior Biff's bedroom. Biff, age 30, is in bed. The shades are drawn, he's half asleep, but he can hear the dog barking. Biff.
Oh, shut up, Chopper.
Exterior Biff's house. Marty, crouching down, is using the rake to snag the envelope. He keeps as far from Chopper as he can. Chopper watches Marty suspiciously. Marty captures the envelope and pulls it toward him, but it gets hung up on the edge of the cement front walkway. Marty tries to dislodge it. He can't quite do it. Hopper barks again. Intercut with. Biff, in his bedroom, again stirs at the sound of the barking. He gets up. Then the barking stops. He gets back into bed. Then, his clock radio goes off. Frustrated, he covers his head with a pillow. Outside, Marty continues trying to dislodge the package. Now he hears whistling. He turns and sees Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. The mailman approaching the house. Marty hides behind a bush. He peeks out and watches. The mailman opens the gate and heads up the walkway. Chopper reacts, barking and charging. Mailman.
Sit, boy, sit.
The dog obediently obeys. The ferocious animal now ooks like a harmless puppy. Marty can't believe it. The mailman continues up the walk, sorting through the mail. He walks right past the precious envelope without noticing it. Marty sighs relief. The mailman sticks Biff's mail through the mail slot in the front door. He turns around, but this time he notices the envelope on the edge of the walkway. The mailman picks it up. Marty is horrified. The mailman sees that it's addressed to Biff. He goes back to the front door and puts it in the mail slot. It only goes halfway through. Artie again sighs relief. The mailman goes back down the walkway to the street. Marty checks that the coast is clear, then approaches the front door. Chopper charges. Marty.
Sit, boy, sit.
Chopper obeys. Marty safely gets to the door. He reaches for the envelope, but as he touches it, it falls through the mail slot into the house. Marty can't believe it. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Interior barn, day. The rear of the DMC is jacked up, and tools are spread out nearby. Doc crawls out from underneath, satisfied. Doc.
That was easy enough.
Checks watch.
Well, Marty, as soon as you get back here, we can go home.
Biff's house, day. Marty has shoved his hand through the mail slot. Reverse angle. Marty's hand fumbles around on the other side, trying to find the envelope. Biff, now fully clothed in workman's attire, sits on his bed tying his work boots. Marty sticks his arm a little further through the slot, desperately trying to reach the envelope. Reverse angle. His hand is really close to grabbing the envelope. Marty strains a little more. Reverse angle. Marty's fingers grab the envelope. Marty's expression brightens. Now the garage door opens. Inside is a '65 Chevy Ranchero with America, Love It or Leave It bumper stickers. Biff, wearing a hard hat, gets in. Marty reacts with alarm. He tries to pull the envelope out. Reverse angle. With his hand holding the envelope, it won't fit through the slot. Marty tries and tries, but there's no way that he can get both his hand and the envelope out. Biff pulls out in his truck, and he sees Marty at the AL slot. He slams on his brakes. Biff!
Hey, you!
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Marty lets go of the book, pulls his hand out, and runs, but Chopper is there to cut off his escape. Biff is out of his truck and grabs Marty.
A goddamn hippie. I ought to beat your brains out. What the hell are you doing on my property, you hippie scum, huh?
Marty.
Nothing. I made a mistake.
Kami, I saw you with your hand in there. What were you trying to do, burn down my housey?
Shoves Marty to the ground.
Watch him, Chopper.
Biff goes to the front door and opens it. It's unlocked, which gives Marty even more consternation. The pile of mail is laying right there. Biff notices the large envelope, which is clearly out of place with everything else. He examines it.
What's this? It's heavy. No return address. No postage. Personal.
He's about to open it, then notices Marty's pained reaction.
Aha, you put this here. It's some kind of bomb or booby trap. Well, I ain't falling for it.
Throws it at Marty.
Take it and get the hell off my land.
Marty picks it up and runs. He leaps over the picket fence and dashes down the street. He's smiling.
And if I ever see you around here again, I'll break your face, damned hippie.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Exterior Courthouse Square, day. The clock tower is as we've known it, stopped at 10:04. Marty walks through Courthouse Square. He has Biff's envelope in hand, and now he rips it open. Sure enough, inside is the Sports Almanac. Marty sighs relief. Conservatively dressed pedestrians notice Marty and his hippie attire. They give him dirty looks. Many steer wide paths around him. Marty quickly realizes that his garb makes him stick out like a sore thumb. No one else, not even teenagers, wears anything remotely similar. He walks past an army recruiting office. A sergeant in the doorway scowls at Marty. A barber shop has a sign. Keep America beautiful, get a haircut. A barber in the doorway sees Marty and gestures invitingly with his shears. Marty shakes his head and walks on. A beat cop named Reese also gives Marty the eye. Marty tries to break the tension with a nod and a smile, but the cop reacts with contempt. Marty walks past. The cop keeps watching him. Marty sees a trash can in the square. He walks over and drops the envelope into it. He's about to drop the book in, but he takes a moment, considering, should he or shouldn't he? He sighs. He should. He drops it in the trash can. He walks away uneasily with second thoughts, constantly looking back at the trash can. He goes past the record store advertising albums, 8-track cartridges, and live concert tickets for Janis Joplin, The Doors, and Jimi Hendrix. He looks back at the trash can. Marty notices a big ad in the bank window showing a happy family in front of a big house, 2 cars and a boat. Money can buy happiness. Ask about our easy home loans. Now, a garbage truck comes from around a corner. Marty watches as a garbage man picks up a corner garbage can and dumps it into the truck. Marty looks back at his trash can with rising doubt. He doesn't have much time to decide. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. He gets an idea. He fishes into his pocket and pulls out the matchbook from Biff's hotel. Insert, matchbook. The image of Biff and the hotel logo are literally fading out before Marty's eyes. And in moments, he's left with an ordinary, blank matchbook. Marty is elated. Now his decision is easy. He goes back to the trash can, rummages around, and rescues the almanac just as the garbage truck pulls up. Marty puts the book in his knapsack and starts walking. Suddenly, a hand comes down on his shoulder. It's Reese, the cop. Reese.
New in town, kid?
Marty.
Well, yeah, sort of.
What's your name?
Marty.
Marty what?
Did I do something wrong?
That depends. Around here, loitering and scrounging through trash cans suggests vagrancy. Let's see some ID. Marty, like your driver's license.
Well, I don't have one with me right now.
How about a school ID or your draft card? You must have a draft card.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
No.
You don't have a draft card, Marty?
What, is there a law against that or something?
Officer Reese gives Marty a very dirty look. Interior jail cell, day. The cell door slams shut on a horrified Marty. Reese looks on while the police chief lays down the law. Chief.
Violation of the Selective Service Act is a serious federal crime, kid. And we don't like dirty hippie draft resistors in our community. Now you're entitled to a phone call. So why don't you call your parents and get them down here?
Marty.
I think I should talk to a lawyer.
Reese.
You know what I think, Chief? I think he's one of those outside agitators.
I have the right to a lawyer.
A lawyer, eh? Sure, we'll get you a lawyer, kid, when we get around to it.
They walk off, leaving Marty alone and scared. Interior barn, day. Doc Brown is asleep in the front seat of the DeLorean. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Exterior barn, day. PA and M.A. Peabody are creeping along the side of the barn. Pa has a shotgun. Ma Peabody.
Otis, I still say we should go to the police.
Pa Peabody.
We will. But first, I'm going to disable that thing so it don't get away. Can't have him thinking we're crazy.
They come to the open barn door where they can see the DeLorean sitting there. Pa raises his shotgun and fires. Buckshot rips into the rear of the DMC and sparks shoot out of Mr. Fusion, followed by thick smoke.
Jehoshaphat!
Doc awakens with a start and opens the gull-wing door.
You made it mad, Otis. It's coming out. Run for it.
The Peabodys run like hell. Doc gets out of the DMC and sees the smoke coming from the back. Before he can deal with it, a small explosion destroys Mr. Fusion. Doc stares in horror at the damage. He picks up an angled piece of metal that has Mr. Fusion on it. Doc.
Now we've got a problem.
Interior jail cell, day. Marty sits alone in cell, head in hands, helpless. Approaching footsteps. Marty looks up as Reese lets a black man, 34, into the cell. He has a huge afro hairdo and carries himself like a militant. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Reese.
All right, you meet your public defender, Goldie Wilson.
Goldie.
That's Muhammad Wilson to you.
The cop snickers and exits, leaving Marty to stare at Goldie.
What are you looking at? You don't think a black man can do this job as good as a white man? Well, you're wrong, brother. Black is beautiful, and I am beautiful. I have worked and sweated and persevered, putting myself through law school to become the best that I can be. And that makes me the best attorney in this community, and the best legal representation that you can possibly have. Is that understood?
Marty.
What it is, brother, what it is.
This is slang which Goldie doesn't understand.
What is what?
Never mind. Look, I gotta get out of here.
Goldie looks over Marty's rap sheet.
No ID, no last name, no draft card. You're not making this easy. Now, to get out on bail, you need $500, but you can't get a bond yourself without ID. However, if you come clean on this, I can get you off on vagrancy, which is a $50 fine. Just go on the record about who you are.
I can't.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
Man, I am trying to fight for your rights, but you have to level with me and get down with some facts.
Sighs, thinks.
All right, here's what you can do. Go out and publicize this thing. Say, a kid named Marty McMarty is in jail because he doesn't have ID. Get it in the newspaper, on the radio, pass it around. When a certain person I know hears about it, he'll get me out, I hope.
I can be with that, but this cat on the outside's gonna know Marty means you?
Well, describe my clothes and use my last name, DeLorean.
Interior jail cell window, night. Marty looks out the cell window at the night sky. He eyes, then paces impatiently around his cell. Finally, the jail cop comes back with keys. Jail cop.
You're in luck, hippie. You made bail.
Marty.
All right, Doc, I knew you'd pull it off.
The cop opens the cell, and Marty follows him out. Interior police station, night. Marty signs a form, and the jail cop hands him back his allet. Marty opens it. Marty.
Where's my $300?
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Jail cop.
Impound it as evidence. You'll get it back after your trial, if it's really yours. Oh, this is yours too.
He gives Marty back the knapsack. Marty checks inside. The sports almanac is still there. Now he looks around the police station for Doc Brown, but Doc's not here.
Where is he, the guy who paid my bail?
Guy, you're a little confused.
Woman.
I paid your bail.
It's Lorraine. Lorraine is 29 and looks like a flower child, with long straight hair, with a flower in it, and a granny dress. She wears an Another Mother for Peace button. Marty's mouth falls open. Lorraine.
Marty DeLorean, right? I read about you in the paper.
Extends her hand.
I'm Lorraine McFly.
Shakes her hand.
Hi, thanks for bailing me out.
I hope you know what you're doing, ma'am. If he skips town or doesn't show up for his trial next month, you'll forfeit the whole $500.
Oh, I can tell just by looking at him that he'd never do anything like that. Mother's instinct.
Marty just smiles weakly. Cut to Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Exterior police station, night. Marty and Lorraine exit the police station together. Lorraine.
You seem very surprised at all this, Marty.
Marty.
Yeah, that's one way to describe it.
Well, there are a lot of us in town who really believe in what you're doing, resisting the draft and all. It takes a lot of guts to be willing to go to jail for your beliefs. I admire that.
Yeah, me too.
You see, I have a little boy, David. He's only 5 years old, but I'd hate for him to ever have to go off to war.
Don't worry about that.
And my brother Toby's going to be 18 next year. He might have to go to Vietnam. It would be good for him to talk to you, somebody his own age.
Chuckles at the iron wire.
Yeah, his own age.
Then you'll talk to him? Great. In fact, we're having dinner at my folks tonight. Mom won't mind an extra mouth.
Well, I really should be going.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
Going where?
Well, I was sorta gonna meet somebody.
I'll give you a ride. My car's right here.
Lorraine points to a '63 Rambler wagon.
Well, it's kinda far, out of town, actually.
Marty, you can't leave town. I'll lose my bail money. And think of what it'll do to the movement.
The movement?
The anti-war movement. Most people, like my father, think that draft resistors are cowards. They don't understand that there are principles involved. But if you run off, they'll say, see, we told you he was a coward. You'd be setting a terrible example.
Look, Lorraine, Mom, Mrs. McFly, I think you think I'm something I'm not.
Don't be so modest. Goldie Wilson said he'd never met such a determined, uncompromising young man. Now you're joining us for dinner and I won't take no for an answer.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Interior Baines home, front alcove, night. Lorraine enters through the front door with Marty. Immediately, 2 small children run up to Lorraine, yelling, Mommy! Mommy! They are, of course, little Dave, aged 5, and little Linda, aged 212. Little Dave.
Mommy, Linda was bad. She spilled Grandma's juice.
Lorraine.
Don't be a tattletale, David.
Little Linda.
Mommy, he hit me.
Because you were bad.
Quiet, both of you. This is Marty.
To Marty.
My children, David and Linda.
Marty.
Charmed.
The kids could care less, but Marty is fascinated.
Mommy, when's Daddy coming back?
In a few more weeks, David.
To Marty.
My husband's up at Berkeley on a teaching fellowship in literature. He's a writer. Thank God it's only for a semester. These two can be quite a handful. David, stop hitting your sister. Sit down, Marty. I'll let my mother know you're here.
She goes to the kitchen, leaving Marty with his older siblings, who immediately start hitting each other again.
Quit picking on me.
Picks at her cheek.
Pick, pick, pick.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Marty grabs little Dave and picks him up.
Hey, kid. You know what happens to kids who pick on littler kids? The brat police come, put them in jail, and then they kill them and feed them to wolves. That's why I'm here. I'm in the brat police, and I heard you've both been bad. So if you don't behave, I'm taking you away tonight.
Both children are terrified. Marty puts Dave down, and he quietly creeps off.
And remember, never pick on anybody who's smaller than you, and that goes double when they're named Marty.
To himself.
If only they remember.
Interior Baines dining room, night. It's the same dining room setup as in 1955. Sam and Stella Baines are now in their 50s. Sally is 19, Toby is 17, and Ellen is 11. Linda's in a high chair next to Lorraine. Dave's on her other side, and there's one empty place. Lorraine, making the introductions.
This is my father, Mr. Baines. That's Sally, Toby, Ellen.
Ellen.
We've never had dinner with a freak before.
Indicates empty place.
Where's Joey?
He locked himself in his room again.
Stella enters with a platter of meatloaf. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Stella.
I hope you like meatloaf, Marty. Ellen, why don't you take a piece up to Joey?
Mom, you know he only eats bread and water when he's up there.
Sam.
He'll be down when he gets hungry.
To Sally, who gets up.
Where are you going, young lady?
Sally.
To see To Sew with Love with Jean and Mary Ann. Good night, everybody.
So tell me, Marty, are you one of those Haight-Ashbury people?
Marty.
Haight-Ashbury? I don't even know the guy.
Oh.
I mean, like, the hate thing isn't my trip. Love is what it's all about. Peace and love.
Marty flashes a rather unconvincing peace sign.
Wow, hippie talk is so groovy.
It's kids like you who are ruining this country, resisting the draft, protesting the war. Do your parents approve of what you're doing?
My mother does.
If it was up to me, I'd send all you hippies off to Vietnam. That'd make men out of you.
Dad, would you stop it? What if Toby has to go there?
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Toby.
I kicked some commie butt.
You'll do no such thing. You're going to college.
With his grades, besides, Toby won't have to go. Westmoreland says the war will be over by January.
David.
Mommy, do I have to eat these carrots?
Yes, you have to eat your carrots.
But I don't like carrots.
Eat them anyway.
No.
David, eat your carrots now.
The little boy looks at Marty with fear, then starts eating his carrots as if his life depended on it. Little Linda takes the hint and starts eating hers too. Lorraine is very impressed.
Lorraine, why do you have that string around your finger?
Huh? Oh, so that I'll remember to call the Mark Hopkins.
What time are you leaving Friday?
Actually, I'm canceling it.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
Your anniversary weekend, but you've been saving up for it for so long.
I know, Mother. It'll just have to be next year. The Mark Hopkins will still be there.
Ellen, don't eat so fast.
I have to, Daddy. Lost in Space comes on in 5 minutes.
We do not run our lives by television in this household.
To Lorraine.
You mean the Mark Hopkins Hotel in San Francisco?
Uh-huh. George and I spent our honeymoon there. I was going to go up to Berkeley Friday, surprise him, and take him there for a little second honeymoon. But we can't afford it right now.
Wait a minute, this weekend.
Mumbles to himself.
Then 9 months would be...
Counting on his fingers.
October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. Oh my God.
A sudden outburst.
You gotta go, Lorraine.
A moment of stunned silence as everyone at the table looks at Marty in surprise.
I mean, that sounds very important. You shouldn't cancel something like that.
But I have to. I used the money to pay your bail.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Marty turns white in stunned shock.
Sam, why don't we loan Lorraine some money for her anniversary?
No, Mother, I won't accept it.
And we can't afford it, Stella. Besides, Lorraine's an adult. If she wants to spend her money bailing degenerates out of jail, I'm not gonna subsidize her.
Look, Lorraine, Mrs. McFly, I feel terrible about messing up your plans. Why don't you just take me back to jail? Then you can get your money back and spend the weekend with your husband.
Now that's a good idea.
Wow, Dad's agreeing with a hippie. Wait till I tell the guys at school. Sam, you shut up.
That's very sweet of you, Marty, but I won't let you go back to jail. This is my little sacrifice to protest the war. Now you're my responsibility, and I intend to see you through to your trial. So, if you need a place to stay, you're welcome to stay with me and the kids.
Little Dave and Linda, in unison.
No!
Excuse me, but I need to go out and get some air. This is kind of overwhelming.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Artie gets up and runs for the front door.
Don't hurry back.
Exterior Baines' house, night. Marty is on the front porch, going through his wallet. Insert, wallet photos. The wishing well photo is intact. Marty's fingers flip past it to one of himself with Jennifer. They both have long shadows. But Marty's shadow has no head. Marty gulps. Then he hears a whisper from the bushes. Whisper?
Psst, Marty, over here.
It's Doc motioning to him. Marty hurries over. Marty.
Doc, thank God. How'd you find me?
Doc pulls the local newspaper from his back pocket. The front page includes a story headlined, Mystery Draft Assister Apprehended, along with a mugshot of Marty. Doc.
At the police station, they told me Lorraine paid your bail. I went to her house, but a neighbor said she'd be at her parents'.
Indicates newspaper.
They can't do this to you, Marty. You're a minor.
Yeah, well, I can't prove it. These clothes didn't help any either. I thought you said I'd blend in looking like this.
Sorry. I guess spending the 60s on a college campus warped my perception a little. Did you at least get the book away from Biff?
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
And you destroyed it?
Doc, there's a bigger problem.
Bigger than Mr. Fusion being non-functional?
Get out of town.
And the replacement parts won't be invented till the next CE entry. What's your problem?
Well, I've sort of jeopardized my conception again.
Marty, I know history repeats itself, but are you sure?
My mom's supposed to meet my dad in San Francisco Friday night to celebrate their anniversary, and that's when they, well, you know.
Engage in biological reproductive mating behavior?
Right, but now that Lorraine paid my $500 bail, she can't afford to go.
Shows photo to Doc.
Look, my shadow's disappearing.
Great Scott.
Now Lorraine steps out on the porch. Lorraine.
Marty, is everything all right? I thought I heard voices.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
Yeah, I'm just, meditating to, get in touch with my inner spiritual selfness.
Wow. Did you study with a guru?
Yeah, listen, I'll be done in a few minutes.
Meditating.
Oh, B1 can OB.
Satisfied, Lorraine goes back inside.
The obvious solution would be to give her $500.
She won't take it. Her mother offered. I even offered to go back to jail. But she's got this weird political thing about it, and I can't even plead guilty without providing some form of ID.
If we had a week, we might be able to manufacture some fake ID.
We've got about 48 hours. Is there some way we could get my trial moved up? I mean, doesn't the Constitution guarantee me the right to a speedy trial?
Marty, I can make a time machine work. I can make a fusion generator work. But even I can't make the American justice system work. For now, stick with your mother. I'll be in touch later and we'll figure something out.
Size.
Perfect groovy.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Exterior McFly house, night. Lorraine's Rambler wagon pulls into the driveway. Marty, Lorraine, Little Dave, and Little Linda all get out and head for the front door. Lorraine.
So you could really teach me meditation?
Marty.
Well, yeah, I mean, not right now, but one of these days.
You know, you remind me of somebody I knew very briefly back in high school. His name was Marty, too.
And I remind you of him, huh?
Yeah, he was very mature and real cute. Of course, he was a little taller than you.
I'm sure he was.
Interior McFly home, night. Two posters are prominent in the room. War is not healthy for children and other living things, and today is the first day of the rest of your life. Marty is draping a blanket on the couch where he's going to sleep. Lorraine is on the phone. As she talks, she removes the tring from her finger. Lorraine.
Yes, I'd like to cancel a hotel reservation for this weekend. The name is McFly.
Marty reacts with concern. Now we hear off-screen crying. Lorraine is annoyed.
Every time I'm on the phone, she starts crying.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Marty.
Look, I'll handle your call. You take care of Linda.
Hands him the phone.
Thanks, Marty. You're a lifesaver.
I'm trying.
Lorraine runs off to check on Linda. On the phone.
Hello? Yeah, this is Mr. McFly, and we want you to hold that reservation after all. Sure, I'm sure. I stake my life on it.
Interior McFly living room later. The house is quiet. Marty lies on the couch, reading the newspaper article about himself. Next to it is an article, Farmer and Wife See Flying Saucer, both under observation in mental ward. Suddenly there's a rap at the window. Marty looks up. It's Doc Brown. Marty opens the window. They speak in whispers. Doc.
Can you talk? Is everyone asleep?
Marty.
Yeah, come on in.
As Doc climbs into the room, Marty notices his knapsack is lying open with the top of the almanac exposed, but he can't close it up without drawing Doc's attention.
I think I've solved your problem. The trick is to give your mother the money under circumstances in which she can accept it without feeling guilty. Now, what if she received the $500 as a gift, an anniversary gift?
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Marty nods, intrigued. Doc pulls an American Readings bag out of his coat.
So I picked up this anniversary card. We put the money in it and make your mother think it came from one of her relatives.
That's great, Doc, except my relatives are a bunch of wood cheapskates. None of them give my folks $500 as an anniversary present.
Think, Marty. You must have one rich eccentric uncle from out of town. Everyone does.
Do you?
Shrugs.
I am one.
At last Marty manages to close the knapsack.
Wait a minute, Uncle Mickey from Missouri. He used to send me $50 every year on my birthday, and I never even met the guy.
Insert the anniversary card. Marty inscribes the card, Dear Lorraine and George, hope you can use this. Love, Uncle Mickey. Wider. Doc pulls the $500 from his wallet and gives it to Marty, who puts it in the already stamped and addressed bright yellow envelope with the card and seals it.
I'll run this over to the post office and it'll be delivered in tomorrow's mail.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Now comes another rap on a different window. Marty turns and sees Doc Brown, the Doc of 1967. This younger Doc is dressed like a cross between an Indian guru, a rock star, and a scientist. Marty is shocked. To 1985, Doc.
Oh my God, Doc, it's you. I mean, the you of 1967. He must have seen the newspaper, recognized me, and tracked me down.
Of course he did. He's a genius, just like me. He is me.
Ducks behind a couch.
But don't let him see me. Don't even let him know I'm here in 1967.
Marty gestures to the younger Doc to wait a minute.
Then should I just blow him off?
No, we need him. The only way I can repair the time machine is to use my his lab. Damn these pronouns.
Let me see what I can do. Geez, look at what you're wearing.
Marty goes over to the other window and opens it. The younger Doc climbs in. He too has the newspaper article. 67 Doc.
Marty, it is you. I knew it. Good to see you. It's been 12 years. What brings you to 1967?
It's kind of a long story, Doc.
Wait, don't tell me. Having too much knowledge of future events can be extremely dangerous.
A beat.
I remember that from 1955.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
Right, well, the bottom line is that we need to get the time machine over to your lab so that you can repair it.
You want me to repair it?
Not him, me.
Yes, no, I don't know.
That's the problem?
Nothing. I'm just a little confused.
No, I mean with the time machine.
Well, it doesn't fly properly.
Don't tell him that.
It flies far out.
Yeah, and Mr. Fusion shot too.
Ho got shot?
Tell him we need a power source.
Hat, Doc?
This Mr. Fusion, does he need medical attention?
Get over here.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTF.com. Marty wanders over to the couch, drops down on it, and throws his head back so he can hear 85 Doc.
Tell him we need a power source for the flux capacitor.
We need a power source for the flux capacitor.
You mean to generate 1.21 gigawatts of electrical energy again?
Precisely.
Precisely. I mean, yeah.
Great Scott, I don't suppose you know about any upcoming lightning storms.
Sorry.
So where is the time machine now?
Tell him to go home and you'll bring it over to the lab.
Actually, the best thing would be for you to go home, and I'll bring it over to the lab.
Marty ushers him to the window.
Well, I suppose that makes sense, but what about poor Mr. Fusion?
Mr. Fusion's history, Doc.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
History? Why, of course, future history. This will all make sense to me sometime in the future. I have to remember to think fourth dimensionally, to get into the groove of the continuum.
Doc, please, go home.
Very well, Marty. Hasta luego.
Ding, 67. Doc goes back out the window, but as he's climbing through, the window drops down hard on his left hand.
Oh!
And 85 Doc grabs his own left hand in identical pain.
Ow.
Marty looks back and forth between the two Docs in amazement.
I sure hope he doesn't fall into any open manholes.
From outside, we hear the roar of a departing motorcycle. Marty looks out the window.
Hey, Doc, you never told me you used to tool around on a Harley.
Oh, God, am I wearing a helmet?
Nope.
Damn, I was crazy in those days. These days, damn these pronouns.
Lorraine.
Marty, are you talking to someone?
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Marty motions Doc to hide. Doc does just as Lorraine enters, in her bathrobe.
Huh? Oh, sorry, I was, meditating again. I'll try to keep it down.
Meditating.
Da du ran ra'an da du.
Lorraine shakes her head and goes back to bed. Marty and Doc finish conversing in whispers.
You better stay here. I'll drop off the DeLorean at my lab, his lab, the lab. Damn. I'll take care of everything. Don't worry.
Doc starts out the window. Marty notices he's forgotten the anniversary card.
Doc, you forgot the card.
Marty hands it to him. Doc waves and drops the card. A beat, then Doc picks it up and shows Marty he's got it. Doc disappears into the night.
Don't worry, he says.
He checks the disappearing photo. Insert photo. A portion of the shadow's torso is now gone. Marty gulps. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Exterior Hill Valley Post Office, night. The DeLorean pulls up to the post office. Doc Brown hops out and mails the anniversary card. Exterior Doc's garage, night. 85 Dia pulls up in the DMC. Nearby is a large psychedelic painted panel truck with E. Brown Enterprises stenciled on it. The 60s version of Doc's 85 truck and the Harley motorcycle. Interior Doc's garage. At 67, DOC studies the old plans of the 1955 Lightning Bolt setup. He reacts to the car engine outside. His sleeping dog, Newton, wakes up and barks. 67. Doc, easy, Newton. It's just Marty. 67. Doc pushes the garage door opener. The doors part. Exterior garage. 67 Doc comes out the opening doors and sees the DeLorean idling there. He does not see 85 Doc, who is crouching down behind the car. 67? Doc Marty? Marty? As he walks around the vehicle, 85 Doc has to creep around to stay out of sight. 67. Doc scratches his head, then gets in the DMC and pulls it into the garage, leaving 85 Doc exposed. 85? Doc wipes his forehead with "that was a close call," and goes around the side of the garage. Newton is left in the doorway, confused. He's seen 85 Doc and can't figure it out. Interior McFly home, morning. At the breakfast table, Marty and Lorraine are having toast and coffee. The kids are eating crispy critters and watching Captain Kangaroo. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Marty.
I was just wondering, what time does the mail come?
Lorraine.
Around 1 or 2 o'clock, why?
Oh, no reason.
The phone rings. Lorraine answers it.
Hello?
Listens.
Hi, Janice. How's everything?
Listens.
Wow, that's a great idea. He's right here. I'll ask him.
To Marty.
Marty, this is Janice from our peace group. She wants to know if you'd speak at the anti-war rally on campus tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night? I couldn't. That is, I really wouldn't know what to say.
You can talk about your experiences as a draft resistor.
There's not that much to tell.
Please, Marty, it would mean so much to us.
I'm just not good at public speaking. I'll be happy to do anything else to help out.
A paintbrush on a cardboard placard, painting a peace symbol. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Wider, Inti, Hippie Pad, Day. Revealing that Marty is doing the painting, and he's none too happy about it. There are a number of hippie types engaged in similar sign-making. A radio plays White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane. The pad is decorated with posters, some black light, and lava lamps. Marty takes his finished sign across the room, picking up snatches of conversation from his brothers and sisters. Guy.
So, I decided to take sitar lessons.
Flower Girl.
I'm into making candles. Because, after the revolution, there's not gonna be any electricity.
Girl number 2.
You bake the peels, then you scrape out the insides, roll it and smoke it. And it's legal. What can they do? Outlaw bananas?
A guy with a mustache and shoulder-length hair stops Marty. Mustache.
Hey man, some friendly advice. You're blowing it here.
What, you don't like my sign?
Your hair, man, you gotta let it go longer, get shaggier. Do a stash trip.
What's that got to do with protesting the war?
Indicates his own hair.
This ain't no protest, man, it's about chicks. They go apeshit for long hair. Make love, not war, know what I mean?
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
I can dig it, man.
A freak who is smoking a joint suddenly gets very excited over the sign he's just painted. Freak.
Oh, wow. This is so heavy, like it just came to me. And seeing it here, it's like cosmic, you know? It's really gonna mess with people's heads.
Marty looks at the sign. It says, "Power to the people."
Yeah, you're breaking some real important ground with that.
A woman enters with a stack of mimeographed flyers announcing the anti-war rally. Woman.
All right, people. I need volunteers to distribute flyers and get the word out.
I'll put some up around campus.
I'll help her.
The girl, who wears a black armband with Paul Rippey, takes a stack of flyers and smells the ink as she exits with mustache.
I get high from this.
I'll circulate some down on John F. Kennedy Drive.
Marty takes some flyers and grabs his knapsack.
Heavy. Working for peace. On a street named for a president brought down by the gun. Like, you must be a real symbolism freak, man, and I can grok that scene.
He takes a long take on his joint. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Marty shakes his head and mutters to himself.
Just say no. Just say no.
Exterior a trash can day. The stack of flyers goes into the trash can. Marty has just dumped them. He approaches Doc Brown's house and garage. Exterior Doc's garage, closer angle. Marty approaches the garage side door. Suddenly, a hand clamps down on him from behind. 1985 Doc. Marty.
Geez, Doc, don't do that.
Doc.
Sorry, Marty, what happened? Did your mom get the card?
The mail hasn't come yet. What about the DeLorean?
I don't know. He's been working on it ever since I dropped it off, and I'll be damned if I can figure out what I'm doing in there.
Marty looks through the window. His POV through the window. 67. Doc is welding at a workbench. The DMC sits, gull wings open, with a hole where Mr. Fusion was. Back to shot.
Leave it to me.
Interior Doc's garage, day. Marty enters. 67 Doc, absorbed in his welding, doesn't notice him. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Marty looks around. He notices on a counter the torn-up letter from 1955 in the process of being reassembled. It's about 2/3 taped together. Checking that 85 Doc can't see him, Marty shoves his knapsack with the almanac under the DeLorean passenger eat. Just as he's finishing, there's a loud buzz. Marty jumps, startled, but it's just an early version of the dog food machine turning on. It's much more of a Rube Goldberg contraption than the 1985 model, and it's unperfected in the end. The dog food misses the dish. Newton runs in through the doggy door, sees his lunch on the floor, and barks. 67. Doc stops working and looks up. 67 Doc.
All right, Newton, I'll take care of it.
Sees Marty.
Marty, I didn't hear you come in.
Marty.
How are we doing here, Doc?
I've got it knocked, Marty.
Scoops up the dog food and puts it in Newton's dish.
As you know, we need 1.21 gigawatts of electricity to power the flux capacitor. Without the fusion device, plutonium, or another lightning bolt, our only chance is to tie directly into the high-tension lines which bring electricity to this entire portion of the state.
Marty spots the giant pole and hook nearby.
I get you, Doc. We put that big hook back on the DeLorean and I drive on a road that goes under the wires. When I hit 88, I hook the wire, the gigawatts go into the flux capacitor, and I go back to the future.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Enter cut with reaction shots of 85 Doc outside, looking in the window.
You get an A in theory, Marty. Unfortunately, none of the power lines accessible from roads are capable of carrying the requisite 1.21 gigawatts. The closest acceptable ones are here.
Indicates location on wall map.
Running above Gannon Canyon. So here's my plan.
Doc steps over to a tabletop model, which he uses to illustrate his explanation.
I'll climb up the nearest electrical tower and set an explosive charge that will destroy the safety regulator on the transformer at the appropriate time, which for several reasons is 10 p.m. Tomorrow night we'll have a full moon, and that's when the shift changes at the power company, which means no trucks will be out. I take it 10 p.m. Tomorrow poses no problems for you?
No, my problems will be over by then, one way or another.
Fine. This explosion will cause the wires to overload and carry the required 1.21 gigawatts for approximately 3.3 seconds before they disintegrate.
Doc picks up a model car with balsa ailerons glued onto a pole and hook on the back.
Meanwhile, I'll have modified the time vehicle with ailerons to enable it to fly again. You'll accelerate along Canyon Road, lift off at the edge of the cliff, fly across, and make contact with the supercharged power lines within those 3.3 seconds.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. 85 Doc. Under his breath.
It's brilliant.
Under his breath.
It's insane.
Timing is critical. If you hook the lines early, you'll be electrocuted. If you're late, the white-hot wires will melt the DeLorean and burn you to a crisp. And if you miss, electrical interference will short out your guidance system, causing you to plummet into the abyss or crash into the canyon walls. Let me demonstrate.
That's really not necessary, Doc. I just want to know one thing. Exactly how did you conceive of this plan?
I took some LSD and it just came to me.
Marty's mouth falls open. He looks over at 85 Doc in the window, who simply shrugs. Exterior Doc's house and garage. Day. Marty and 85 Doc are walking away from Doc's residence. Doc.
Of course it'll work, Marty. He thought of it. He's me, and I'm a genius. It's all perfectly sound scientific logic, and it's all within the technology of this era.
Marty.
Okay, you're the scientist, but if we ever get back to 1985, see if you can build a time machine that Ewan's on 9-volt batteries.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTOF.com. Exterior MCFly home, evening. Marty and Doc approach the McFly residence. Lorraine's station wagon is in the driveway. Doc ducks behind it. Doc.
I'll wait here. You find out if she's opened the mail.
Marty goes up and checks the mailbox. Empty. NT, McFly home, evening, night. Marty enters. The kids are watching TV. Lorraine is on the phone. Marty waves to Lorraine, then spots a stack of mail on a table. Making sure Lorraine can't see him, he rifles through the mail and finds the yellow envelope. It's been opened. Marty smiles. Now he reacts to Lorraine's phone conversation. Lorraine.
And Uncle Mickey sent us $500 cash for our anniversary. Can you imagine? With Aunt Doris in the hospital? He's just so generous.
A beat.
No, Mom. I wrote him a note saying the best present he could give us was to use the money toward Aunt Doris's medical expenses, and I sent the money back.
Marty's eyes bug out of his head.
Mom, I sent it registered mail so nothing would happen to it.
He runs like hell out of the house. A beat. Then Lorraine reacts.
Marty, is something wrong?
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Exterior street, night. Marty and Doc walk along together in a funk. Marty.
I can't believe it. How can something so simple turn out to be so complicated?
Doc.
If only we could have gotten your Uncle Mickey to give her the money personally. Then she couldn't possibly give it back.
They pass a neighborhood bar, advertising go-go dancers. Doc stares at the go-go girl in the window, clad in miniskirt and boots, dancing in a cage.
You know, I forgot all about these places.
Marty notices an anti-war rally flyer taped to the window.
Doc, that's it. Lorraine wants me to speak at this rally. I'll do it, and when I get up to speak, I'll give her the money and say it's a gift from all of her anti-war friends who want her to celebrate her anniversary with her husband in San Francisco. I'll get everybody to applaud, and she'll have to say yes. Then we just have to make sure she gets on the bus to Berkeley.
It's good, Marty. Very good. All right. You get yourself on this program.
Indicates flyer.
Circulate these all over town. The bigger the turnout, the better. Meanwhile, I'll get the money and meet you in town square at noon tomorrow.
Doc, where are you going to get $500? Lorraine sent it to Uncle Mickey.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
Dr. Emmett Brown has a bank account in 1967. When the bank opens in the morning, I'll just make a withdrawal from my account.
Exterior Town Square, day. Doc has just told Marty some bad news. Marty has a new stack of flyers under his arm. He's been putting them pee around town square. Marty.
What do you mean you closed your account last week?
Doc.
A forgotten incident from my past. The free toaster I got when I opened my account broke. The bank wouldn't replace it, so I decided to teach him a lesson.
What did you do with your money?
I put it in my safe.
They both react with the exact same idea.
Hold it, Doc. You can't rob your safe.
It's not robbery, it's my own money.
No, I mean you're there. He's there. At your lab, working on the DeLorean. I just talked to him. He figures he'll leave around 6 to set the charge on the power line and get everything ready.
No problem. I'll just wait for me to leave, then go in, open the safe and get the money. What time do you speak tonight?
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Marty gives him a flyer which has the schedule. Insert, flyer, 6:30. Music Blue Nirvana, 7 o'clock. Opening remarks, a prayer for peace. Guru Om Dali Raj, 7:15 A Draft Resistor's Odyssey. Marty DeLorean, 7:30 War as Racism. Muhammad Goldie Wilson, 7:45 Mothers Against War. Janice Steinberg, 00 Poetry for Peace. Joe Potosi.
Rally starts at 6:30 and I go on at 7:15 right after this guru guy.
Back to shot.
Then I'll get there sometime before 7:15 and slip you the cash.
Perfect. Lorraine can make the 8 o'clock bus, which means she and George will get to the Mark Hopkins by 10 p.m.
They start walking away.
And we'll have plenty of time to meet me, him, the other Doc on Canyon Road. Yes, Marty, I'd say we've finally got the situation under control.
As they walk off, a man steps into the foreground and rips one of Marty's flyers off of a lamppost. It's Biff. He reads it with disgust. Biff.
We'll see about this.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Exterior Hill Valley U Quadrangle, night. A raised platform stage has been set up at one end of the quadrangle, along with an American flag with a peace symbol in the blue field and various anti-war banners, including some we saw being painted earlier. There's also a North Vietnamese flag. A 55-gallon drum with a fire is set up with a sign, "Put draft cards here." The band Blue Nirvana is playing Eve of Destruction as people gather. Marty is here, as well as Lorraine and the kids. There are also some cops on the perimeter, including the Police Chief and Officer Reese who arrested Marty. Reese.
Look at him. You can't tell the boys from the girls.
Marty checks his watch, 6:53. Lorraine.
You're not nervous, are you, Marty?
Marty.
Who, me?
Marty chuckles nervously. Exterior Doc's garage lab, night. 85 Dioc is spying on his younger self through a garage window. Old Doc checks his watch. Doc.
Hurry it up, Doc, hurry it up.
POV through the window of 67 Doc, getting everything ready to go. Of course, the old Wells Fargo safe is located at a spot which is impossible to get to until he leaves. Nearby, Newton is sleeping under a table. The DeLorean is now modified with a strut assembly, onto which ailerons will be mounted. It's been loaded into the back of Doc's panel truck. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Doc loads the ailerons into the back of the truck, closes it up, gets in, and revs up. 85. Doc sighs relief. The truck pulls out of the garage and the doors automatically close behind the departing vehicle. 85 Doc immediately goes to the side door and tries it. Locked. But the frustration is only momentary. Doc simply pulls out his own key which fits the lock. He enters the garage. At the rally. While the band plays Mr. Tambourine Man, Marty, Lorraine, and the kids are joined by Stella and a very our Sam. Lorraine.
Dad, this is a surprise.
Sam.
Lorraine, the only reason I'm here is because your mother dragged me here.
I'll listen to the speeches, but I'm not changing my opinion.
Again, Marty checks the time. It's about a minute before 7. He looks around for Doc with rising concern. Exterior campus front gates, guard shack. Biff, wearing a hard hat, pulls up to the campus entrance and guard shack in his pickup truck. 3 cronies are with him. Biff. To the guard.
Hi, which way is the anti-war rally?
In Doc's garage. 85. Doc, at the safe, dials the combination. He jerks the handle. It opens. Doc reaches in and pulls out a stack of cash. He counts out $500 and puts the rest back. It's now 7 o'clock, and Doc's clock collection goes off with a wild cacophony of sound. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Startled, Doc turns abruptly and knocks over a large framed mirror, which crashes to the floor and shatters into pieces. Doc.
Damn, 7 years bad luck.
The noise awakens Newton, who barks.
Sorry, Newton. Didn't mean to scare you.
The dog calms down, reacting to 85 Doc as he would to the younger Doc. Doc goes to clean up the mess, leaving the safe open while he does. Suddenly the garage door buzzes, the motor engages, and heat doors begin to open. Bright headlight beams shine into the middle of the garage. 67. Doc has returned in the truck, which stops just outside the garage. 85. Doc can't leave the garage without being seen. He hides behind some furniture. 67. Doc gets out of the truck and goes in. Newton sees his real master and reacts with confusion. The animal looks over at 85 Doc, who gestures. 67. Doc wanders around, scratching his head. 67 Doc.
Where did I leave that time bomb?
As 67 Doc looks for it, 85 Doc realizes that the safe is still open. At the rally leader is on the podium, addressing the crowd. Leader,
I want to thank everyone for coming this evening. This is a great turnout, and it's exciting to see how many of us there really are.
Applause and cheers from the crowd. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. In the garage, 85 Doc inches toward the safe in hopes of closing it before his younger self notices. The dog continues to look back and forth between the two Docs. He barks.
Take it easy, Newton. Everything's fine.
As 67 Doc finally finds the time bomb, which he left on top of the dog food machine.
I can't believe I forgot this. Well, they say that memory's the first to go.
Newton barks again.
What's wrong, Newton, Ella boy?
As 67 Doc turns and notices the open safe, and the older Doc freezes.
My God, the safe. Thanks, Newton. I didn't realize I'd left it open.
The younger Doc goes to the safe and closes it. As he steps away, he catches a glimpse of 85 Doc in the empty error frame. Young Doc freezes as what he just saw registers on him.
Great Scott, I look terrible.
In 67, Doc goes back to the mirror and stares at himself in disbelief. The two Docs do a classic mirror image routine. Young Doc examines his face and hair and makes faces at himself. Finally, 67, Doc turns away and shakes his head.
That's it, no more LSD for me.
He heads back to his truck without another look back. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. At the rally, the leader continues talking.
Our next speaker, Guru Daliraj, is unfortunately unable to join us tonight, but sends his vibrations to all of us for peace. So now, I'd like to introduce a young man who will tell us about his travels and experiences as a draft resistor, Marty DeLorean.
Applause. Marty can't believe it. He looks at his watch. 7:05. It's 10 minutes early. Lorraine urges him up. Marty takes a moment to look for some sign of Doc Brown. Exterior campus. Biff and his boys are approaching the rally from behind. They can see the backside of the stage platform in the distance. Biff.
Perfect. We can sneak up from behind, smash the microphone, and kick some hippie ass.
In the garage. 85. Doc finds an envelope and puts the $500 inside. He puts the envelope in his coat pocket, then gets on his motorcycle and revs it up. Exterior Doc's garage. The doors open and 85 Doc blasts out on the Harley at the rally. Marty steps up to the podium. He's clearly nervous, and as he looks over the crowd, he notices a sign that says, "War is a waste of human life." Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Marty.
Before I get started, I think we should remember that above all, war is a waste of human life. So I think it might be appropriate for us to have a moment of silence for those who have lost their lives in Vietnam, on both sides.
Marty bows his head. The crowd similarly bows theirs. Marty glances at his watch. BFF and company move closer. Exterior city streets. Doc maniacally weaves through traffic on the Harley, his height hair blowing wildly, at the rally. The moment of silence continues, but restlessness is setting in. The leader gives Marty a nudge to get going. Marty again looks for the Doc, then reluctantly continues. Marty.
Thank you. I'm sure you're all disappointed that the guru couldn't make it this evening. I know I am. But I know the guru would appreciate it if we all did a little Eastern meditation together.
Doc Brown continues his wild drive across sidewalks and lawns. At last he speeds through the entrance gates of Hill Valley University. At the rally, Marty is leading the crowd in a meditative chant. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
So Baro.
Crowd.
So Baro.
Biff has reached the back of the platform. He starts to climb up.
Mazda.
Marty sees Doc on the motorcycle coming toward the quadrangle. Marty brightens.
Mazda.
Doc has to get off the Harley at the police barricade.
Celica.
Doc hurries forward on foot. He holds up the envelope. Oh, Marty can see it. Marty sighs relief.
Celica.
Suddenly, Biff charges onto the stage and jumps Marty. Biff.
You're going to hell, hippie.
Biff takes a wide swing at Marty, which Marty easily ducks. Marty lets Biff have it in the jaw. One punch stuns him, a second punch staggers him, and a third punch knocks him backward, off the stage, and directly into Doc Brown. Doc stumbles backward and drops the envelope into the burning 55-gallon drum. Several cops and campus security guards run over. Biff's boys scatter, leaving Biff unconscious on the ground. Doc gets up and looks in the burning drum. It's hopeless. He gives Marty an "I tried" look and shrugs. Marty sighs, takes a deep breath, and clears his throat. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
I'd like to thank our unexpected visitor for his maturity.
Laughter from the crowd.
Well, I was asked to talk about my travels and experiences, which have been unique, I assure you. You know, we're all here to say we're against the war, and that's great. But maybe we ought to take a few moments to figure out what we're for, what's it all about.
Pauses.
For me, the answer is the family. I guess you tend to take your family for granted because you just figure it'll always be there. But if you lose your family, you may never get it back. This I know from experience.
Some of the radical anti-war people exchange looks. This is not what they expected to hear.
War tears families apart, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Because of war, some families won't even have a chance to get started. But wars end. Politicians come and go. Issues change. Only the family remains. That's why there's nothing in life worth risking your family for. Not for money, or power, or a career. Certainly not for war, or the politics of war. There's a woman here tonight, a decent, kind woman who, like me, lost sight of those values. She spent $500 to bail me out of jail. Not because of me personally, but because of the politics she believes I represent. $500 she'd planned to use to celebrate her anniversary. The anniversary of the beginning of her own family sacrificed for politics.
Lorraine reacts with some embarrassment. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
Now I have some personal reasons why this is extremely disturbing to me, but my travels have taught me this. When you let politics, or war, or money, or anything make you lose sight of your own family, you're killing something in yourself just like they're killing each other in Vietnam.
Sam Baines looks at Stella and Lorraine with warmth. He puts his arm around his wife.
We can't end the war tonight, but we can reaffirm our belief in the family by each giving $1 or $2 so that Lorraine McFly can have her second honeymoon.
As he says this, Marty takes out a $10 bill, then lifts a hat from a musician, drops the cash in, and passes the hat into the crowd. Lorraine is very touched. She hugs her children.
Come on, people, let's all get together here. Lorraine's bus for San Francisco leaves in 20 minutes. She's got a reservation at the Mark Hopkins Hotel. Let's show her we believe in love.
The band starts playing Get Together. People start passing money forward, or putting it in the hat as it comes around, including Goldie Wilson and some of the hippies we've seen earlier. Doc, at the edge of the crowd, gives Marty a thumbs up. The warmth and good vibrations take over the crowd. The police chief is on the sidelines with Reese. Chief.
Outside agitator, huh, Reese? I don't see any agitation, do you?
Reese.
No, sir.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
Dismiss the charges, destroy the records, and make sure Mrs. McFly gets her bail money back. If you need me, I'll be home, spending time with my family.
A taxicab pulls up to the edge of the square, and a man gets out. We don't see his face as he makes his way through the crowd. Now Lorraine notices him and does a double take. Yes, it's George McFly. She runs to her husband, tears in her eyes, and they embrace. Dave and Linda run up and join their father. Stella Baines is delighted. Sam nudges her. Sam.
You told him to come down?
Stella nods. Sam gives her a hug. A few moments later, Marty presents Lorraine and George with the money. Stella and Sam are nearby with Linda and Dave. Lorraine.
Thank you, Marty. I'll never forget this.
Neither will I.
A psychedelic van pulls up alongside. Hippie driver.
Express bus to the Mark Hopkins Hotel, San Francisco, all aboard.
Lorraine embraces Marty. George opens the van door for Lorraine. She gets in. Hen George turns and shakes Marty's hand. George.
Thanks, Marty.
You're welcome.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. George starts to get into the van, then turns.
Marty, have we met someplace? You seem very familiar.
I just have that effect on certain people.
George gets into the van with his wife. The family and everyone else waves and shouts goodbye.
Goodbye, you two. Celebrate, have fun, get wild.
We will.
As the van departs, Marty checks the disappearing photo. Insert. Photo. Marty's shadow becomes completely restored. On Marty.
I know you will.
A motorcycle pulls up next to Marty. It's Dioc on the Harley. They exchange a smile, then Marty climbs on behind Doc, the Easy Rider tableau.
Hit it, Doc.
To Born to Be Wild comes up on the soundtrack and they roar off. Exterior, the full moon. Tilt down to reveal the open highway. Marty and Doc on the Harley are keeping pace with the AN with Lorraine and George. Ahead, the highway forks. The road sign indicates one fork for San Francisco, the other for Gannon Canyon. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. The vehicles go their respective ways with a wave by all concerned. Exterior Canyon Road, starting line, night. A white starting line and the words, "Start Here," have been painted across the road. Adjacent is the Gannon Canyon Museum, a small building which houses a standard collection of local Indian artifacts. The Harley pulls up, and our 85 Doc gets off. Marty moves forward on the seat. Marty.
I'll be right back with the DeLorean.
Doc waves him off, and Marty speeds down the road. Exterior the time bomb, night. The time bomb, which we saw in Doc's lab, is now attached to the high-tension tower at a transformer. The ticking bomb clock shows 9:47. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTCF.com. Wider, canyon and power lines, night. The high-tension lines and towers span the canyon, glistening in the moonlight. 67. Doc and Marty stand at the edge of the canyon. The DeLorean is nearby, offloaded from the truck. The ailerons are now attached to the back. The pole and hook are mounted on the side. The Harley is parked next to the truck. 67 Doc.
Piece of cake, eh, Marty?
Marty looks over the canyon rim. It's a long way down. Marty gives Doc a look. Marty.
What kind of cake?
At the DeLorean, 67, Doc shows Marty the additions to the instrument panel.
This joystick controls the ailerons. Pull back to go higher, push forward to go lower. Left banks left and right banks right. Here's the altimeter.
Insert altimeter. It's color-coded and connected to colored lights.
When the needle reaches this point, the green light will go on, indicating you're at the correct altitude for contact. If it's red, you're too low. If it's yellow, you're too high.
Back to shot.
Red, too low. Yellow, too high. Green, just right.
67 Doc puts a walkie-talkie on the DMC dashboard. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
I'll be stationed partway up that tower and give you a countdown over this walkie-talkie. When I say blast off, you blast off. Your starting position's marked. It's about 2 miles down the spur road right next to the museum.
Yeah, I passed it on my way here.
I'll leave the programming of the destination time to you.
Extends his hand.
I sure wish I could go with you, Marty. It'd be like taking the ultimate trip.
Yeah, well, I don't think that would be a very good idea.
Oh, it's physically impossible anyway. The weight of an extra passenger would throw off all my calculations.
What? What do you mean, Doc?
With 2 people in the time machine, you'd never get enough lift to reach the wires.
Marty is horrified.
Say, Doc, maybe we ought to postpone this whole deal for a night or two, just to double-check everything.
Marty, the bomb's going off at 10 and it's too late to defuse it now. If you're not there to absorb the 1.21 gigawatt surge, the overload will cause a massive power failure in half the state that'll rival the New York blackout of 1965. Innocent people would be hurt. Some might even die.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
Christ, Doc, you've kind of bet the farm on this one, haven't you?
67 Doc smiles with that glint in his eye.
What's life without a few calculated risks?
I wouldn't know.
Doc lowers the gull-wing door on Marty. Marty revs up and drives off. We hold on the road then. Exterior the time bomb. Ticking away. It's 9:56, at the starting line. 85. Doc sticks the pole and hook into place on the rear F the DMC. Marty has explained the situation to him. Doc.
There's no alternative, Marty. I'll have to stay behind.
Marty.
No, Doc. I'll stay behind. You go back to the future, repair the DeLorean, and come back here for me.
It won't work, Marty. I'll still need to generate 1.21 gigawatts to come back, and who knows how long that'll take.
But if you come back to this moment to get me, it won't take any time at all.
The voice of V67 Doc crackles in over the walkie-talkie. 67 Doc, voiceover.
Roger, this is your time travel mission control.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Enter cut with 67 Doc. 67. Doc is partway up the high-tension tower, broadcasting on the walkie-talkie while consulting his watch. He has binoculars around his neck. 67 Doc.
We are currently at T-2 minutes and counting. Please set your destination time if you have not already done so.
At the starting line, Marty and Doc exchange a startled look. They forgot.
Great Scott.
They immediately go at it.
Let's see. We have to get you back in time for your date with Jennifer.
I'm not going, Doc. You are.
But it has to be after I dropped you both off at her house, which was approximately 10:50 a.m.
Insert of time displays. The destination time is entered. October 26th, 1985, 10:55 a.m. back to shot.
You have to go, Doc. If you stay behind, you risk a time paradox.
And if I fail and you're stuck in the past, you risk the same paradox. Besides, I'm heavier than you, and the lift calculations were based on your weight.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
So, we'll lighten the load. We could take off the hubcaps. Hey, that's it, Doc. We can both go if we can get rid of enough weight.
Marty, there aren't 211 pounds of excess weight on this vehicle.
Whoa, you weigh 211, Doc?
Pinches his gut.
It's all muscle, Marty. All muscle.
67 Doc, voiceover.
This is Mission Control. We are now at T-1 minute and counting.
Marty opens the trunk of the DMC.
We don't need the spare tire. That's got to be about 30 pounds.
Marty takes it out and dumps it.
The jack and these tools at 0.8 or 10 pounds.
Dumps them.
What about the whole trunk lid?
No, we need that, otherwise we'll upset the aerodynamics.
The doors. We don't need the doors, do we?
No, we don't.
Great, give me that crowbar.
67 Doc, voiceover.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale, exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Doc gives Marty the crowbar. Marty opens the passenger all-wing door and starts ripping into the hinge valve. Doc holds up the door as Marty works the crowbar.
15 seconds and counting.
Forget it, Marty. There's no more time.
We gotta go for it, Doc. You drive. I'll get the door off in flight.
10:9.8.
Marty gets in on the passenger side and continues jimmying the hinges with the crowbar.
Hurry, Doc, or nobody's going.
Doc runs around to the driver's seat and gets in.
0.543.
Doc throws the appropriate switches on the dashboard and puts the car in gear. 67 Doc, voiceover.
2, 1, blast off.
Doc hits the gas pedal and the DMC peels out. Power line sequence. Series of shots. The DMC accelerates down the road. 67. Doc watches through binoculars. Marty continues jimmying the hinges. The speedometer needle climbs. The timer on the bomb counts down.
90 seconds to detonation.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. POV of the road as the DMC speeds toward the canyon rim.
Hurry, Marty.
Working on it.
Marty gives the crowbar a hard jerk and hits Doc in the head with the other end.
Ouch.
Doc jerks the wheel in response to being hit and the car almost goes off the road.
Sorry.
Marty tears off one of the hinges.
Almost there.
The DMC goes over the canyon rim and starts plummeting. The altimeter needle dips and the light glows. Red.
Pull back on the stick.
Doc pulls back on the joystick. The ailerons respond, but the car doesn't lift. It merely decreases the speed of its descent. Marty rips out the last part of the hinge, but the door doesn't fall off. Marty pushes against it. The wind resistance is keeping it on.
The wind's holding it on. Bank the car so I can push it off.
Doc pushes the joystick to the right. The DeLorean banks to the right. Marty gives the door a shove. It's stuck. He pushes harder, harder. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Finally, he throws his whole body into it. The door falls off, and Marty falls out of the car. Marty's pants get caught on the crowbar, leaving him hanging out of the open doorway. The DeLorean door falls into the canyon, bouncing off the canyon walls and into the darkness. The lightening of the load causes the car to fly upward. The altimeter needle moves up. Marty regains his balance and starts to pull himself back in. 67 Doc watches all this through the binocs in disbelief. He adjusts his position and sits on a protruding metal point.
Yeah!
Though 85 Doc reacts in identical pain and accidentally knocks the joystick sideways. The DeLorean spins suddenly in response. Marty falls back out. He grabs the bottom edge of the doorway and hangs on for dear life.
Doc, help!
Doc looks over at Marty's predicament in amazement.
You're supposed to wear your seatbelt.
I forgot.
Though 85 Doc banks the vehicle a full 90 degrees left, which U-tips Marty, in position to climb back in.
Who's driving that thing?
Marty makes it into the car, and 85 Doc writes the DMC. Marty gets back in his seat and fastens his seatbelt. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Doc pulls back on the stick, and the flying car climbs. The altimeter needle moves toward the green.
I think that did it.
20 seconds to detonation.
Through the DMC windshield, the power lines are visible in the distance. The speedometer is stabilized at 88, but the altimeter needle is still in the red. Doc pulls back on the stick to no avail. The red light stays on.
We're still a few pounds overweight.
Marty throws the crowbar out.
More!
Marty takes off his shoes and throws them out. The altimeter needle inches upward, close, but no cigar. The DMC is coming up on the power lines. Marty throws the walkie-talkie overboard.
7, 6.
We're not gonna make it.
Marty reaches under the seat and pulls out the knapsack with the almanac. He hesitates a moment.
4, 3.
Marty throws it out. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. That does it. The altimeter light goes green.
2, 1.
The bomb on the tower explodes. Sparks shoot into the sky. The power lines glow. Electrical blue. The flying DeLorean hooks the supercharged line. Thus, the traditional 1.2, 1 gigawatts of electricity are conducted into the flux capacitor. The coils glow blue, and the DMC vanishes through the time barrier, leaving a trail of fire suspended in the sky over the canyon. 67 Doc goes wild with euphoria, screaming and yelling. On the canyon floor below, a tent is pitched, a campfire burns, and two figures stare at the aerial display of sparks. P.A. and M.A. Peabody. Pa Peabody.
I see it, but I don't believe it.
Ma Peabody.
Not a word about this, Otis. Not one word.
Spots something on the ground.
Otis, looky there. Where'd that come from?
It's Marty's knapsack. Pa picks it up.
It's a knapsack. Hey, what's in here?
He pulls out the almanac and thumbs through it curiously.
Numbers. A whole lot of numbers.
He shakes his head and throws it on the campfire, admiring the knapsack.
Well, at least this is worth something.
We hold on the campfire as the almanac burns then. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTF.com. A model of a campfire. We widen, revealing a diorama museum exhibit of Indians round a campfire. Tour guide.
The tools and pottery in this exhibit date from 1100 AD.
Interior museum, day. We are with a tour group in the Canyon Museum. From air cameras and clothing, it's clearly 1985. Tour guide.
Now we come to our most puzzling exhibit, the mystery door.
The discarded DeLorean door, dented, rusted, and aged, is in a lucite display case in the middle of the room. Flashbulbs go off as visitors approach it.
Discovered on the canyon floor after a UFO sighting 18 years ago, many people believe this object is a hatch from an alien spacecraft, particularly due to its built-in electronics, which were beyond all earthly technology in 1967. Joining us now to answer your questions is noted UFO expert and discoverer of the door, Mr. Otis Peabody.
Mild applause as P.A. Peabody, now 75 and using a cane, oins the tour guide. A kid raises his hand. Kid.
Yeah, if this door is from an alien spaceship, what happened to the ship?
Pa Peabody.
As I explained in my book, Trash Dumps of the Gods, that particular ship got completely disintegrated. I know it because I saw it.
Suddenly, Pa's mouth falls open, and his eyes bug out at what he sees through the window behind the tour group. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. His POV out the window of the flying DeLorean without door, as it banks around the power lines and heads back toward Hill Valley. P.A. Peabody gulps. Peabody.
Of course, that's just a theory. Next question.
Exterior Lions Gates, 1985, day. The DMC once again drives through the familiar Lions 8s and down the street. Interior moving DeLorean, day. Up ahead, Biff's auto detailing truck can be seen parked. Biff is waxing somebody's car. Marty.
Looking good, Doc. Biff's back at his old job.
Exterior McFly home, 1985, day. The DMC pulls into the McFly driveway. The garage is Penn, and Marty's black Toyota truck is in there. Marty.
Great, my truck's here. Everything's gonna be fine. I'll change clothes and zip over to Jennifer's.
Marty hops out of the doorless doorway. Doc.
I'm going to check on Einstein, so I'll catch you later.
Right, Doc, it's been real.
Only some of it, Marty.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Marty waves Doc off, then goes to the front door and tries his key. A moment of tension, then bingo. The door opens. Interior McFly home. Marty enters. Lorraine and George, dressed as they were at the end of the first movie, are cuddling together on the couch, looking over George's novel. Marty.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Lorraine.
Hi, Marty. What on earth are you wearing?
Oh, I had to borrow these from Dr. Brown because of one of his experiments.
Marty hurries down the hall to his room. George and Lorraine exchange a look.
I just got a chill, like deja vu. He reminded me of somebody back in the 60s.
George.
Lorraine, you're always thinking about the past. The future, that's what's important. The future.
Exterior Jennifer's house. Day. Marty, now wearing 80s clothes, pulls up in his truck, ETS out, and runs over to the hammock. He hesitates, then peeks into it. Jennifer is just as he left her. Marty sighs relief. Marty.
Jennifer?
He gently shakes her. She moans, but does not revive. He tries again. No go. Finally, he kisses her full on the mouth. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. He awakens with a start, scared, then just confused. Jennifer.
Marty, what am I doing home?
You passed out while we were talking. You were out a couple of minutes.
I did? I thought I was...
Sighs.
I guess it was a dream, but it was so real. We went to the future, you and me, with Dr. Brown, but you ran off, and I couldn't find you, and I saw our kids, and you and me old, and it was just horrible.
It didn't happen, Jennifer. You've been right here the whole time.
What time is it? What day is it?
Saturday. Morning. About 11:30. We're going to the lake tonight, remember?
The lake? That's right. We're supposed to go, but instead you...
She pauses, trying to remember.
Jen, we're going to the lake tonight. You and me in the truck under the stars. We're going to watch the sunrise, just like we've been planning for 2 weeks, and it's going to be great. I'll pick you up around 6:30, okay?
Jennifer sighs relief, nods, and throws her arms around Marty. They hold each other. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com. Just as they are about to kiss, a red Corvette convertible pulls up and honks. The driver, Winch, 19, and his pal Lomax seem a bit sleazy. Winch.
Hey, McFly. Been looking for you, pal.
Marty steps away from Jennifer.
Hey, Winch, Lomax. What's shaking? Me and Lomax, we're into something big. A once-in-a-lifetime deal. Major cashola. Fast, easy, low risk. It's going down tonight, but we need a third wheel and a truck. You want in? Tonight, huh?
Jennifer reacts with concern and intense deja vu.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime deal, McFly. Your end's good for an easy 2 Gs. Like I said, major cashola.
Marty takes only a moment to decide.
Not interested, guys.
Winch and Lomax shrug, then drive off. Jennifer is relieved. Marty goes back to her.
Now where were we?
Right about here.
Again they embrace. They're about to kiss. The DeLorean screeches up. Doc has Einstein with him. Doc.
Marty.
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
No, not again.
To Jennifer.
I'll be right back.
Marty joins Doc at the DeLorean.
You left your driver's license and things in my glove compartment.
Relieved.
Oh, right.
Doc hands Marty his license, student ID, and Norman's blue card. Seeing this puts a damper on Marty's spirits until, insert, blue card. It's blank, on both sides. No picture of Norman, no information, nothing. Marty doesn't understand.
What's it mean, Doc, that now Norman doesn't exist in the future, that we don't get married, or is the whole future changed somehow, or erased? You're the scientist, Doc. What's it mean?
It means that the only thing we can be sure of about the future is that they'll still have blue plastic cards. Your future, Marty, for better or worse, is entirely up to you. It always has been, it always will be.
A beat.
So make it a good one.
Doc gives him a wink. Marty smiles.
And what about you, Doc? Are you going back?
Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.
Back to the future? Nah, I've done enough screwing around with the fourth dimension.
Revs up the DeLorean.
But the fifth dimension now, that's something to shoot for.
Doc has that crazed glint in his eye. He shifts into gear and roars off down the street. Marty just shakes his head. He looks once more at the blank blue card. Jennifer comes up beside him. Marty smiles, tosses the blue card in a trash can, then puts his arm around her. They stroll off together into a future. Music up, When I'm 64 Inches and roll in credits. Copyright, Universal Studios and Bob Gale. Exclusively hosted by BTTF.com.